Chapter 381 All Must Die. Bai Ningbing widened her eyes in shock as Fang Yuan suddenly appeared out of nowhere. By now, GU masters already had a clear understanding of the Three Kings' inheritance. And because she was at Fang Yuan's side, Bai Ningbing had much deeper understanding of Three Kings' inheritance. However, precisely because of this deep understanding, she was even more shocked. Fang Yuan's sudden appearance looked like a simple phenomenon, but it contained astonishing implications. Bai Ningbing, do you still remember our vow? I wonder if you still want Yang Jiyu now. Fang Yuan did not mention how he appeared but looked at Bai Ningbing with his unfathomable and abyssal gaze with his hands behind his back. HMPH, as if you don't know the answer. Bai Ningbing snorted and narrowed her blue eyes. She knew Fang Yuan would not speak aimlessly, he definitely had a motive. It seems you need my help. Speak up, don't try to conceal anything, otherwise I will not help. Fang Yuan laughed loudly without being moved. Back at Shang Clan City, we took a poison vow that if one side is in mortal danger, the other must help. I will tell you truthfully that not long later, I will be besieged by GU masters and I need you as my protector to block any obstruction towards my GU refinement. GU masters besiegement, hee, I am not surprised, there are plenty of GU masters who want to kill you. But refining GU, what GU are you refining? Fang Yuan was straightforward this time and told the whole story directly. The most important thing now was that he needed Bai Ningbing's full cooperation. This matter also could not be concealed. Bai Ningbing was not someone so easy to fool. If because of him hiding the truth, some misunderstanding occurred and caused the GU refinement to fail in the end, it would be truly disastrous. What? This GU Immortal Blessed Land's land spirit is still alive. You are refining an immortal GU. You have truly large guts, you are looking for your own doom. Wait a second, what did you say just now? You killed Time Yu Bai, and also Wu Gui and Kumo. Fang Yuan kept it brief and said the whole story in a few sentences, but the information it contained was huge, sending an enormous shock to Bai Ningbing's mind. She felt like she was listening to a story. Fang Yuan did not speak anymore but directly took out his lute. These GU. Bai Ningbing looked at the GU worms Fang Yuan took out and was flabbergasted, even losing her self-control. These GU were genuine. They were the best proof. You really killed them. Bai Ningbing stared at Fang Yuan, shock clearly visible in her eyes. Who was Time Yu Bai? He was Southern Border's super clan Tai clan's previous clan leader. He was a genius with outstanding innate talent, his temperament was even more firm and unyielding. His battle accomplishments in his whole life shone with splendor. And with his talent, he researched many battle tactics of the metal path, causing countless enemies to be terror-stricken by the mention of him. At a young age, he roamed outside and his name spread throughout Southern Border. In his middle years, he ruled Tai clan with an iron fist and made everyone fear him. At his old age, he became an emperor of a region, his reputation spread wide with no one daring to disobey him. He was venerated as the glory of Tai clan, radiance of the righteous path. When he announced his seclusion and retirement, many people, be it demonic path or righteous path, let out a breath of relief. Now, he was out of seclusion and that shook many clans. Even Shang Yanfei would have to bow in front of him to greet him. The rank 5 GU master of Wu clan Wu Lanshan was the cousin of the current Wu clan leader, but even she had to bow despite her pride when facing Time Yu Bai. And this Time Yu Bai had died by Fang Yuan's hands. Not only him, Wu Gui and Kumo, 2 rank 5 GU masters also lost their lives to Fang Yuan. Even more absurdly, not only did they die, all their GU worms were taken by Fang Yuan. These 3 rank 5 GU masters really died with grievance, even Bai Ningbing, this outsider, felt stifled at the deaths of Time Yu Bai and others. Alright, it is about time. Next, I will send you to King Quan inheritance. Advance through the rounds according to my instructions. I need dog beasts, the more the better. Fang Yuan's tone was hasty. HMPH, I did not say I will help you. Bai Ningbing's gaze flickered. Fang Yuan smiled. Don't worry, if I succeed, I will give Yang Jiyu to you. Besides, there will be other benefits as well. After leaving Sancha Mountain, you can go wherever you want to. I won't stop you if you want to part ways and will also welcome you if you want to go together. But whether you agree or not, I will refine the GU. Bai Ningbing was exasperated. You shameless guy, you are relying on the poison vow to force me. If Fang Yuan was attacked and died while refining GU, then according to the poison vow, Bai Ningbing would also die. That is to say, Bai Ningbing must protect Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan sighed, his tone became mild and even seemed to have a trace of gentleness. Ning Bing, this is not a threat, but cooperation. Think about it, since Qingmao Mountain, we have been cooperating, and no dangers have been able to stop us as many enemies fell under our feet. This time is also not an exception. Weren't you always wanting Yang Jiyu? You can turn back to a male when you obtain it. Or have you become fond of your female identity? Bai Ningbing felt goosebumps all over her when she heard Fang Yuan call her Ningbing. And when she heard Fang Yuan's final sentence, she clearly knew Fang Yuan was spurring her. She could not help feeling provoked and shouted, "Shut your mouth." It is settled then. Fang Yuan laughed loudly and waved his hand, giving Bai Ningbing a dog enslavement GU, then disappeared. The scene before Bai Ningbing also changed suddenly, and she was sent to the first round of King Quan inheritance by the land spirit. Fang Yuan suddenly appeared in front of Wu Lanshan. Wu Lanshan got a shock when someone suddenly appeared in front of her. But she was a famed figure and a majestic rank 5 GU master, calming her mind in seconds. "Little Beast King, it is you. You can casually enter and exit this place." Wu Lanshan retreated a step, sharp light blossoming in her beautiful eyes. Fang Yuan pointed his little finger and shot out a bone spear. Poochie. There was a soft sound as the bone spear pierced through Wu Lanshan's heart like lightning. Wu Lanshan's beautiful flower-like appearance seemed to be frozen as she looked at Fang Yuan incredulously. You can use GU. The moment she finished saying this, her aura dissipated, indicating her demise. Another rank 5 GU master died. However, Fang Yuan did not obtain her rank 5 GU. The moment Wu Lanshan died, a mysterious light burst out of her body and enveloped her 3 rank 5 GU worms, tearing through space and bringing them away. Fang Yuan was not surprised. He knew Wu Clan had a rank 6 immortal GU called No Loss GU, which possessed the mystical ability to retrieve precious GU worms. Although this blessed land could restrict GU worms of rank 1 to 5, it could not restrict immortal GU. In fact, no blessed lands can restrict the abilities of immortal GU. Fang Yuan took the rest of the rank 4 GU, which were also quite valuable. After that, he took out Beast Placenta GU and swallowed Wu Lanshan's aperture. This was already the 4th rank 5 GU master's aperture. Beast Placenta GU was nourished and looked like a delicate pottery, and gave a sleek feeling a touch. Fang Yuan analyzed it and found the aptitude had increased to 75%. The aptitude became more difficult to raise the higher it became. At first, the aptitude had directly raised to 40% when the Beast Placenta GU had swallowed just Time Yubai's aperture. Later, it swallowed apertures of Wu Gui, Kumo and Wu Lanshan in a row, and was only able to raise by another 35%. Of course, this has to do with the foundation of the GU master. There are altogether 5 rank 5 GU masters on Sancha Mountain. But only Time Yubai, Kumo and Wu Gui are at rank 5 peak stage. Among them, Time Yubai's foundation was the most profound with the huge amount of resources from Tai Clan. Wu Lanshan and Wang Xiao are both at rank 5 upper stage. And Cho Ju is only at rank 5 initial stage. Killing these people might not be enough to raise the aptitude by another 10%. But no worries, there are plenty of GU masters, Yi Huo, Kong Ritian and the rest, all of them must die. Corpse Dog is purple all over, its skin is slightly rotten, its lower back is crooked and its canines protrude out. Use Yin dogs to restrain them and you will definitely succeed. Choose the left path, the reward for that round is 3 tasks at once GU, which will be of great help to you. Next, you will encounter a heavy Thai dog king. It is in a seriously injured state but is even more ferocious. You will need to sacrifice a lot of dogs to capture it. This dog king is the only heavy Thai dog king in the first 20 rounds. At the 22nd round, there will be a large group of wandering heavy Thai dogs. You can use heavy Thai dog king to directly recruit them without losing anything. There would be a voice guiding Bai Ningbing every time she progressed through a round. This voice was of the land spirit. Immortal essence was scarce, the land spirit moved Bai Ningbing to King Quan inheritance and was not willing to misuse immortal essence on her. Bai Ningbing could only go through each round personally. However, although the land spirit's control over the blessed land had fallen to rock bottom, it was extremely clear about the contents of 3 kings' inheritance. There was almost no loss in immortal essence for it to guide Bai Ningbing, but to Bai Ningbing, it was of extremely huge help, as if there was a bright lantern guiding Bai Ningbing through the dark tunnel. Bai Ningbing was able to make best choice at every round and her strength continued to expand like a snowball. Next, you will encounter a GU master as your opponent. But no need to worry, he has just fought a huge battle and only has few dog beasts remaining, you will be able to eliminate him easily. At that time, I will confine him, and after you kill him and take his GU, you can greatly increase the number of your GU worms. The land spirit guided again. Bai Ningbing nodded and slowly walked out of the fog. It is you, her opponent was clearly shocked at her sight. Bai Ningbing was also stupefied. This person was none other than the person who had tried to make things difficult for her and Fang Yuan before he entered the inheritance, the Yun clan's young clan leader Yun Luotian. Yun Luotian arrogantly snorted. You are called Bai Ningbing, right? It is your bad luck you ran into me, you don't even have half the amount of dogs I have. He had not even finished speaking when he stopped. His eyes opened wide and his throat let out a strange caw-caw sound like a rooster that had its throat jammed. From the mist behind Bai Ningbing, a large numbers of dog beasts walked out one after another. Endlessly. Chapter 382 Continue Killing. Chapter 382, Continue Killing. Impossible, how can you have so many dog beasts? Young Luotian screamed, pointing at Bai Ningbing. As he shivered, his expression looked like he had seen a ghost. The sheer number of beasts around Bai Ningbing had surpassed his wildest imagination. How many rounds has it been? Even a rank 5 GU master cannot reach such a number. Young Luotian screamed as loudly as he could to vent the horror in his heart. You must control some loophole, you cheated. You actually cheated, you shameless scoundrel. Young Luotian's composure was completely gone, he no longer had the attitude of an young clan leader. Bai Ningbing sighed lightly. Young Luotian was right, he hit the nail on the head. It is true, she cheated. And it was the blessed land spirit who helped her. Under the land spirit's guidance, she had an easy time going through the King Quan inheritance, like she was on a vacation, it was a complete walk in the park. Compared to the difficulties she faced back when she explored the inheritance alone, this was a clear contrast. The incredulous feeling of cheating cannot be described with words. If doing this means I am despicable, I would rather become even more despicable than this, he he he. Bai Ningbing exclaimed as she waved her hands. Woof, woof, woof. Countless dogs received her commands and moved like flood water. In Yun Luotian's vision, he could see a sea of dogs charging towards him like a tsunami. He gritted his teeth. Bai Ningbing, do not be smug. Once I get out, I will expose you in front of everyone. You know such a huge secret, everyone will be interested, especially those rank 5 GU masters. Ha ha ha, you are finished. Saying so, he took out a token and used it. But nothing happened. Young Luotian was shocked, activating it again. What happened? Why is it not working? I used it the last time and I was transported out immediately. His gaze flashed as a bad feeling emerged in his heart, causing his expression to turn uncertain. He took out another unused token. He was the young clan leader, he had 2 tokens to protect him. But this time, there was no effect either. The token stopped working. Young Luotian stared with his eyes wide opened, staring at his token, sweat emerging on his forehead. Bai Ningbing's dog army had surrounded him, and started slaughtering his dog group. How can this happen? Send me out now. Young Luotian's breathing became quicker, as he used the token frantically, to no avail. Ah! He screamed, his beautiful face distorted with fear. His hair was messy and his eyes were bright red, like an angered bull. It is you did this didn't you? It must be you. You made the token ineffective, hee hee, what great methods you have. But be clear of this, I am the great Yun clan leader. If you kill me, you would offend Yun clan. The entire Yun clan won't let you off. Young Luotian recovered from his fear and screamed at Bai Ningbing. His arrogance as the Yun clan leader was sustaining him, not letting him kneel down and beg for his life, instead he was getting more haughty. But such an attitude was completely useless against Bai Ningbing. I'm not even afraid of Tai clan, would I fear your tiny Yun clan? Bai Ningbing snickered. On the battlefield, young Luotian was alone, his dog groups were no match for Bai Ningbing's, massacred till none was left. Bai Ningbing willed, and the closest dog barked before pouncing on young Luotian. Young Luotian struggled with his life, but his strength could not match the dog. His throat was bitten by the dog, as blood poured out of it. As for the other beasts, they stood in a circle and waited. I curse you have to a terrible death. Young Luotian cursed before he died, his tone filled with hatred and anger. Bai Ningbing shook her head in disdain, walking forward and keeping young Luotian's GU worms. This young Luotian walked the cloud path, they were all rank 4 GU, and were all of high quality. As for the enslavement path GU worms he obtained from King Quan inheritance, they greatly benefited Bai Ningbing's GU worms. As for his corpse, it was teleported by the land spirit, sent to Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan was stepping on Wang Xiao, forcing out the location of Wu Mountain. Wang Xiao was the owner of Wu Mountain, a rank 5 upper stage GU master, a true regional emperor. He was an established expert. If it was outside, 10 Fang Yuan added together would not be his match. But here, Fang Yuan defeated him easily, like dealing with a baby. Wang Xiao was extremely angry. He was stepped on by Fang Yuan, as his face and the soil made intimate contact. For a great rank 5 GU master, the Lord of Wu Mountain, this was a great humiliation. You want to know how to enter Wu Mountain? Hee, stop your wishful thinking. Kill me if you want. After you kill me, you will not be able to know the true path to enter the mountain. Wang Xiao sneered as he struggled intensely, but Fang Yuan could use his strength path GU worms. Wang Xiao could not compare to him in terms of strength. After an intense struggle, he was breathing heavily out of exhaustion, while Fang Yuan's leg was still firm as a mountain. Wu Mountain was a slightly famous mountain among the 100,000 mountains of southern border. This mountain was mysterious and illusionary, hidden in a deep layer of fog. In the fog, there were many small paths, but only one led inside. Wang Xiao knew this path, and thus entered the mountain and made the mountain's resources his. Like Qingmao Mountain, a famous mountain like Wu Mountain had at least 3 to 4 spirit springs. Other than that, there were large numbers of wild beasts and wild GU. All sorts of resources that could sustain 3 to 4 middle-sized clans. But Wu Mountain was completely owned by Wang Xiao. Wu Mountain is a natural danger zone. It is easy to defend, and no matter how many righteous GU masters there are, they cannot break into it by force. Wang Xiao used this to become a regional emperor, living freely and easily. If I obtain it, I could use it as my base, and I would have no worries for my rank 5 resources. Fang Yuan thought. Wu Mountain was Wang Xiao's good fortune. Fang Yuan desired it greatly. But Wang Xiao refused to speak. He knew that once he spoke, he would be killed. Not speaking gave him a chance of survival instead. Pew! At this moment, with a light sound, Yun Luo Tian's corpse was transported over. Fang Yuan kicked Wang Xiao aside, walking over to the corpse and used the beast strength placenta GU to devour the aperture. It's him, that Yun clan young leader. Wang Xiao recognized Yun Luo Tian, and also witnessed Fang Yuan using beast strength placenta GU, his heart chilled. Fang Yuan was obviously killing people to refine GU. This GU can devour apertures. Not good. My aperture is way more valuable than Yun Luo Tian's. This beast strength placenta GU had already become smooth and clear, like a beautiful porcelain. But in Wang Xiao's eyes, it was extremely dangerous and mysterious, giving off a demonic feeling. Seeing Fang Yuan walk over, Wang Xiao shouted, "Wait, wait. We can negotiate. I can promise you to give you the actual path into the mountain, but you must ensure my safety. I have 1 poison vow GU on me." Fang Yuan's killing intent surged. Although he had the eating one's words GU and can break the vow, he had little time now. How could he waste time to create the eating one's words GU? As he killed these GU masters, his immortal essence was depleting, and the blessed land was getting closer to destruction. The longer they dragged, the weaker the land spirit, and the less immortal essence he had to refine the second aperture GU. At the same time, the blessed land's flow of time was 3 times the outside world. The spring-autumn cicada was posing a huge threat. Fang Yuan killed so many people, he already used nearly 2 portions of the immortal essence, about half of his planned amount. The blessed land's destruction was accelerated, and some people should be able to feel it already. Fang Yuan's greatest advantage was having the initiative. If he continued to drag this, it would get more disadvantageous for him. Compared to the second aperture GU, Wu Mountain's benefits were huge but not irreplaceable. Speak, which is the path into Wu Mountain? Fang Yuan stepped, and broke Wang Xiao's right wrist, shouting sharply. Let me go and I'll tell you. Wang Xiao screamed in pain. HMPH, stubborn. Fang Yuan stepped again. The sound of bone breaking was heard as Wang Xiao's left kneecap was crushed to bits. Wang Xiao shuddered under the pain, as sweat flowed down his back, but he gritted his teeth and stared deeply at Fang Yuan, refusing to speak. Fang Yuan was silent, knowing that coercion would not work. Wang Xiao was an expert of a generation. He had a cruel and ruthless nature, never going easy on his enemies, but also strict on himself. He designed an ice water bed for himself. Such a bed, as long as one sleeps for 6 hours, the entire bed would sink into the ice water below. Wang Xiao slept on such a bed, only resting for 6 hours a day. He encouraged himself, and worked hard, giving it all his effort. Other than eating, cleaning, and resting, all his other time was spent on cultivation. His aptitude was not extremely good, uncomparable with Tai Mu Bai and Bai Ning Bing. But because of his hard work, he climbed up step by step, becoming famous in southern border, a great demonic expert that no one dared to look down on. In Fang Yuan's memories, after Wang Xiao came to Yitian Mountain, he killed many righteous experts, and his ruthlessness spread. One time, he even got close to vying for the position of the demonic head. Fang Yuan felt pressure in his heart offending such a person. Killing Wang Xiao was weakening the demonic faction in the Yitian Mountain battle. But Wang Xiao could not be kept alive, he had to be killed. I have to refine Ji not long after, I do not want to be attacked by you. Fang Yuan sighed, striking the final move and killing Wang Xiao. Later, he took the Ji and devoured the aperture. This process was extremely smooth. After devouring Yun Luotian and Wang Xiao's aperture, the beast strength placenta Gu's aptitude had risen to 83%. As for the immortal essence expenditure, it had reached slightly more than 2 portions, he had reached a critical stage. Not good, the immortal essence expenditure is higher than my estimation. This blessed land is too old, originating from the antiquity era, it is a miracle that the blessed land is still standing today. Fang Yuan's expression was solemn, the actual expenditure had slightly exceeded his initial estimations. Chapter 383 Profound Concept of the Universe, Demon Venerable Hong Lian. Chapter 383, Profound Concept of the Universe, Demon Venerable Hong Lian. Young man, the primeval essence expenditure had deviated from the plans, you should stop now. The land spirit noticed this error, and suggested. Fang Yuan's expression turned cold, retorting immediately, that won't do, 83% is not part of my plans, my plan is to reach 90%. Most things in life do not happen according to one's wishes. How can we get everything we want? Young man, you have been blinded by greed, you are starting to lose your rationality. The land spirit spoke calmly. Fang Yuan cursed in his heart, without the land spirit's help, he could not use the immortal essence. Land spirit was already thinking of stopping, Fang Yuan had to convince it. Ba Gui. Fang Yuan breathed out some turbid air, relaxing his tone, the primeval essence expenditure exceeding by a bit is no big deal. In my plan, we had some spare essence. Fang Yuan planned the immortal essence into 16 portions. Among that, 8 was for Ji refinement, 4 was to sustain the 3 kings' inheritance and 3 portions and a bit more for killing Ji masters. The final bit would be kept as spare in case anything happened. Fang Yuan had a meticulous nature, he had planned this for so long, how could he not have a backup plan? But the land spirit was not convinced, although it was created from lingering thoughts, it had intelligence and could think. Young man, your calculation is incorrect. Have you ever considered that the Ji refinement process might fail? There is no way you won't have issues, once you fail you will waste immortal essence. 8 portions to refine Ji, that was the minimum requirement, that last bit of immortal essence is to allow you to waste when you make multiple attempts. Now that you want to use up this bit, if you fail the refinement even a little bit more, the second aperture Gu's refinement will not succeed. Land spirit retorted. Fang Yuan was anxious secretly, he had not passed the test and was not the blessed land's owner, he could not directly command the land spirit. If land spirit refused to cooperate, there was nothing he could do. There was still a rank 5 Gu master and many rank 4 experts left in the blessed land now, these will all be obstacles for him when he refines the immortal Gu later. Fang Yuan killing these people now was to eliminate his future enemies, to protect himself. But the immortal essence left in the blessed land was simply too little, Fang Yuan had to carefully think and plan his usage properly. At the same time, he had to face the blessed land's inspections. Young man, stop taking risks. If you continue being adamant, I will not cooperate with you, I will even take away your examination chance, and leave the opportunity for others. Land spirit was firm in its tone. Fang Yuan sighed deeply hearing this. Land spirits were very rigid, in this situation, it was nearly impossible to convince the land spirit. We can keep the others, but that rank 5 Gu master has to die. He is one of the 4 great doctors of southern border, he has a great network and relationship, we have to eliminate him to be safe. Fang Yuan urged. For your safety during refinement, you have already planned to use that young girl, together with the beast groups, she can block them for a while. At the same time, I will risk my life to protect you. The most important thing is the success or failure of your Gu refinement. Land spirit denied Fang Yuan's suggestion. Fang Yuan's expression sank. The final rank 5 Gu master Cho Ju, known as Killer Ghost Doctor, although his battle strength was not outstanding, he had great influence. In his previous life's memories, he went to Yitian Mountain and joined the demonic faction. Next, he obtained the third in control position. With a wave of his hand, countless GU masters gathered. With his healing, the demonic faction faced less deaths and injuries, their morale surged, and that caused great problems for the righteous path. Only until Shang Yanfei invited Dr. Su Shou, together with divine Dr. Sheng Shou, did they manage to suppress Choju's glamour. The Battle of Yitian Mountain made everyone see the ability of Choju. The killer ghost doctor also became publicly recognized as the head of the four great doctors. After Yitian Mountain was subdued by the righteous path, Choju was captured, and Wu clan leader valued his talent and wanted to recruit him. But Choju refused to submit, scolding Shang Yanfei and Dr. Su Shou, exposing some of their ancient history, causing the furious and ashamed Shang Yanfei to kill him on the spot. Any rank 5 GU master was a genius, they cannot be underestimated. These GU masters could emerge from the commoners, and ascend to the peak of the mortal realm in such a cruel environment, surviving many rounds of elimination. They were all heroes or champions. Once he thought about how a person like Choju might attack during the final step of the GU refinement, Fang Yuan could not rest easy. Although my cultivation is rank 4 upper stage, and my cultivation speed is stunning, on this huge stage, I am still too weak, I cannot contend with these rank 5 GU masters. If I had my rank 6 cultivation back in my previous life, no matter how many rank 5s come, I can kill them all like livestock. Fang Yuan sighed internally. You still want to kill someone? Impossible, I will not allow it. Immortal essence cannot be wasted like this, we have to preserve most of it for the GU refinement. Land Spirit heard Fang Yuan's request and immediately rejected him. Demonic GU masters are all like this, they like to take risks. Sigh, young man, do not be so extreme. In this world, why do you think the righteous path is blooming and suppressing the demonic path? It is because demonic path is too extreme, too greedy, and likes to place themselves in danger. The righteous path pursues stability, slow and steady, unmovable like the mountain. Bagwei, you are wrong. Demonic path members have a tough life, they are forced to take extreme means. If they did not fight for the greatest benefits at every given opportunity, and did not take risks, how could they cultivate, how could they compete with the righteous path? Greed, selfishness, extremity, and risk-taking, these are all laws of survival of the demonic path. As long as the benefits are enough, so what if we have to walk on a tightrope? One wrong step leads to game over, making the impossible possible. That is the excitement of the demonic path. The life of a demonic path member is like wine, intense and alluring. Fang Yuan rebuked loudly. Land Spirit heard such words and sighed endlessly. Young man, the demonic nature is too entrenched in you, you can't turn back anymore, in the future it will lead you to destruction. If heaven commits a sin, it can be forgiven, but if one commits a sin himself, he deserves to die. Fang Yuan laughed loudly. Ha 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 ha, Bagwei, you are too naive. What is a sin? Committing a sin means one deserves death. That is only the weaklings, naive and helpless expectation, they spread such ideology, hoping people would abide by it so as to protect these weaklings. As for me, I want to be a person who commits a sin, yet is able to roam freely and travel the world, a demonic head who slaughters living beings and enjoys all that I can get. I not only want to slaughter GU masters, I also want to succeed in refining the second aperture GU and become the greatest winner. Bagwei, feel this, what do you think this is? Saying so, Fang Yuan activated the spring-autumn cicada, and for the first time, leaked its aura out into the world. The land spirit was flabbergasted. This is the aura of a rank 6 immortal GU. It seems to be the spring-autumn cicada. Spring-autumn cicada is the 7th mysterious GU in this world. You are a mere mortal, how can you possess such an immortal GU? To convince the land spirit, Fang Yuan took a gamble and exposed the existence of the spring-autumn cicada. Spring-autumn cicada was a rank 6 GU, and the second aperture GU was also an immortal GU. Such benefits were enough for Fang Yuan to take this risk. Why can't a mortal own an immortal GU? I'll tell you the truth, the spring-autumn cicada was refined by me. Fang Yuan said. I understand, I get it. You were a GU immortal, but you used the spring-autumn cicada to rebirth and came back to the past to change history. Land Spirit gasped and sighed. Oh, Bagwei, you seem to know some information regarding the spring-autumn cicada, please enlighten me. Fang Yuan quickly inquired. Since the immemorial era, there were two types of GU masters, space path and time path, forming the basis of heaven and earth. Space path represented up, down, left, and right, while time path represented past, present, and future. Take my blessed land for example. At its peak, there was 6,000 square kilometers of land, and the flow of time was 6 times the normal speed. Land Spirit said. How much was 6,000 square kilometers? On Earth, that is about the size of Brunei. As for 6 times the normal speed of time, it was measured according to the river of time. At its peak, the blessed land's time was 6 times of the outside world. 6 days inside the blessed land was 1 day outside. Of course, by now, the blessed land had severely weakened. Not only were the territories mostly eroded, the flow of time was only 3 times as fast. In this world, there were many different blessed lands, and the size and flow of time were all different. Land Spirit continued. Spring-autumn cicada is one of the Gu worms of the time path. Back then, it had a master who left his name in history, that is Demon Venerable Hong Lian. He resisted the immortal court, and broke the chains that bound fate, giving the people of the future hope, and allowed them to grasp their own fate in their hands. Demon Venerable Hong Lian, the most mysterious Demon Venerable in history. Fang Yuan gasped. In the Gu world, rank 9 was Venerable. Demon Venerable meant a rank 9 demonic path Gu master. Immortal Venerable is a rank 9 righteous Gu master. In the eons of history, Demon Venerable and Immortal Venerable were merely a handful of people, they represented a supreme legend. There was only one Venerable in each era, never did 2 appear at the same time. Thus, Venerables represented true invincibility. And among these rank 9 Venerables, Demon Venerable Hong Lian was the most mysterious, and had the least records in history. Even Fang Yuan merely knew about his existence. Now, this was the first time he was hearing about Demon Venerable Hong Lian's details. Land Spirit continued. This world, wide as one can imagine, is split into 5 regions, north, south, east, west, and central. They are close together, yet completely independent regions. With one river of time, flowing from the past, through the present, towards the future. That is the time and space of this main world. If one says that history is a series of still images, then the river of time is a thin thread that connects these numerous images into a line. You use the spring-autumn cicada, forcing your way out of the images, and traveled along the line, moving in the reverse direction as you inject your will and memories into one of the images. That would cause this image's events to change, and consequently affect the future images as well. So that's it. Fang Yuan benefited greatly from Land Spirit's words. He had used the spring-autumn cicada twice, and each was a unique experience, causing Fang Yuan's understanding of the spring-autumn cicada and the river of time to become clearer. Land Spirit's words gave Fang Yuan the inspiration for a new and unique understanding. To think that you are a future Gu immortal, and even refined the spring-autumn cicada. In this blessed land, you are truly the most appropriate candidate to refine this Gu. Never mind, since you are so confident, I shall trust you once. Who do you want to kill? Land Spirit gave in. Originally, it thought Fang Yuan was only immortal, he would definitely waste a lot of immortal essence when refining Gu. But right now, it recognized Fang Yuan's Gu immortal identity, and reduced the estimated immortal essence that he would potentially waste, thus accepting Fang Yuan's request. Fang Yuan smiled and promised, Land Spirit, it is right to trust me. I will not disappoint you, the Gu refinement will succeed. In the future, I have to rely on this second aperture Gu to ascend to Gu immortal realm once again. Land Spirit laughed too, having a sense of acknowledgement towards Fang Yuan. That's right, you are a Gu immortal, you know the value of the second aperture Gu much more than mortals. When you become a Gu immortal, the second aperture will give you unparalleled benefits. Chapter 384 Scheming Ghost Doctor, Secret Door of Life and Death. Chapter 384 Scheming Ghost Doctor, Secret Door of Life and Death. To think that this 3 kings' inheritance is a trap, the true winner is you, little beast king. Killer Ghost Dr. Cho Ju laid on the ground, staring deeply and closely at Fang Yuan as he exclaimed. After Fang Yuan convinced the Land Spirit, he rushed to Cho Ju and beat him up. Cho Ju had an ugly appearance, his hair was like dry yellow grass, his brain was protruding and his eyes were of different sizes. His cheekbone was very high, his nose was flat, there was a large clump of hair growing out of his nostrils, and his yellow teeth were projecting outwards. But his gaze was very complicated, he had a plotting ability that ordinary people could not possess. Little Beast King, I know about you, you have great talent, from a vagabond, you grew to this extent, I admire you greatly. Compared to you, I am merely several years older. When I was young, I did not have such accomplishments. You are a dragon among men, you will eventually soar to the heavens, and roam the world freely. I have no intentions to be enemies with you. If possible, I would like to use the information regarding the door of life and death to preserve my life. Fang Yuan had killed 4 rank 5 GU masters earlier. Some of them were shocked, some furious, some fearful, but this Cho Ju was extremely calm. After understanding his situation, he placed his ego down and praised Fang Yuan. He laid on the ground, not moving, as if he gave up on resisting. But at this moment, the land spirit suddenly transmitted, "Quickly kill him, he is activating his token and GU worms furiously, I am trying to suppress them but this is causing great immortal essence expenditure." But Fang Yuan was slightly stunned, almost thinking he had hallucinated. Door of life and death. This door of life and death was a big deal. It was recorded in less than legends of Ren Zhu greater than, a secret forbidden land in ancient times. It was similar to the river of time and ordinary abyss. After Verdant Great Sun died, Ren Zhu went to the door of life and death to attempt to revive him. Legend says that behind the door of life and death holds the secrets of life and death. If a person can comprehend it completely, they would be able to control life and death itself. Cho Ju knows the location of the door of life and death. Fang Yuan's heart was palpitating, as his expression turned cold, warning severely, "Cho Ju, activate your GU worms one more time and I will kill you immediately." Cho Ju's expression changed, his pupils shrinking as he slowly sat up, looking at Fang Yuan. "You can sense me using GU worms." A thought flashed across his eyes. "You can use GU worms, while I can't use mine at all." Sigh, it seems there is only one possibility, the land spirit is still alive and you subdued it. So this blessed land has such a secret. What a pity, back when the 3 kings obtained this place, they did not truly control the blessed land, thus you have obtained it now. But this blessed land is on the brink of destruction, there is no way to save it. The land spirit must be extremely old and weak too, right? Otherwise the GU masters would have been chased out already. Why would you need to eliminate us personally? Although Fang Yuan did not control this blessed land, after expressing his identity, the land spirit would listen to some of his instructions in order to assist him with the GU refinement. Cho Ju was over a century old, he was old and scheming, easily guessing the scenario. "Since you control the blessed land, then I won't bother with this pointless act. As long as you preserve my life, what you will obtain will be out of your imagination," Cho Ju said, stopping his secret actions. Fang Yuan laughed without denying. "Talk about the door of life and death. You know the location. The door of life and death is a forbidden ground not inferior to the river of time. There is an extremely wide area inside, reflecting the 5 regions of the main world. Legend says that there are many unique and natural GU worms inside, like life GU and death GU." Cho Ju nodded. "I know the door's location, not only that, I have even explored it multiple times and captured some of the life GU and death GU inside, eventually refining one life one death GU. I placed this GU inside the door of life and death. Every time a person dies because of me, it will absorb this death energy and convert it into life force. Because of this life force, my healing methods are extremely profound. This is the reason why I became one of the 4 great doctors of Southern Border." Killer Ghost Doctor revealed his own secret, to increase his trustworthiness. Oh, so that's it. This was the first time Fang Yuan heard such a thing, although he had his previous life's memories, he was not all-knowing. "Then in that case, tell me, and I may spare you a life," Fang Yuan promised. But Cho Ju shook his head. "The secret regarding the door of life and death is way too important. I have once vowed before the Sea Oath GU, to not reveal the details to outsiders. Once I say it, I will turn into dust, wiped off from this world. But if you join the Shadow Sect, you will be one of us, and I will be able to tell you." Sea Oath GU, Shadow Sect, Fang Yuan frowned. Sea Oath GU is a rank 6 immortal GU, it was very famous during ancient times, together with Mountain Pledge GU. Mountain Pledge and Sea Oath, they worked like the Poison Vow GU, but Poison Vow GU was an expenditure GU while these 2 immortal GU could be repeatedly used. Fang Yuan had heard of the Sea Oath GU and had an understanding of it. But he was unfamiliar with Shadow Sect. Hearing this name, it sounds like a sect for GU cultivators. That means, the loner Cho Ju had a secret organization behind him. Fang Yuan felt a little threatened, the situation was slightly out of his expectations. It was not hard to kill Cho Ju now, but Fang Yuan knew nothing about Shadow Sect, this gave him a sense of insecurity. "That's right, my sect is the Shadow Sect. The great ancestor who created Shadow Sect was a rank 8 GU immortal of the immemorial era. He was the one who found the door of life and death, and placed it into his blessed land. Later, Many GU immortals were nurtured in Shadow Sect, the benefits are endless for you if you join Shadow Sect. Saying so, Choju said a bunch of benefits, truly expending his verbal talent, spouting an exaggerated tale. Fang Yuan struggled a little, before calming down. Choju, that's a nice plan there. If I join Shadow Sect, you not only will be free from danger, I will even have to call you senior brother. In such a traditional sect, respecting seniority is the most important thing. If I join it, I will definitely have to make an oath and be restricted with all sorts of methods. At the end, I even have to contribute my gains on Sancha Mountain, and do missions for the clan in the name of loyalty, am I right? Shadow Sect, Fang Yuan sneered, shaking his head. Let's not talk about the possibility of you lying, even if it is real, so what? A sect that was created in the immemorial era, it is a miracle that it is still around now. You mentioned there were many GU immortals in history, but they are mostly dead already, right? Otherwise, Shadow Sect would be a great force in the southern border. Why would you have to fight alone, and slog it out single-handedly? Choju's expression turned white, he had to reassess Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan was so young, but he was so calculating and scheming. Facing potential benefits, he could remain so calm and analytic. What sort of young man is this? He is definitely a 100-year-old monster. Fang Yuan laughed heartily, continuing, I am the type of person who likes to take all the benefits for himself, don't tell me about win-win situations. Even if you made the sea oath, it is not unbreakable. Sea oath GU and mountain pledge GU have an obvious weakness. When you made the oath, you had to face the sea or a large mountain. As long as the piece of ocean or the mountain is destroyed, the oath will lose its effect. Choju's heart froze. Fang Yuan was knowledgeable and knew many things, he was not like a newbie at all. These kind of people were the hardest to fool. Choju calmed his spirits, it is useless. The sea that I made the oath to is inside the Shadow Sect blessed land. If you want to destroy that sea, you will need to know the location of the blessed land. But for me to say that location, you have to destroy the sea first. It is a dead loop. Fang Yuan sneered, killing intent surging. Since there is nothing that can be done, forget it. You can die now. Choju sighed greatly. If you want to kill me, go ahead. He did not move, but in his heart, he felt certain. The door of life and death was a legendary location, who did not care about their life and death? Little Beast King definitely cannot endure such a temptation, his actions now were only to scare him. But Fang Yuan shot out the bone spike resolutely. This bone spike flew towards Choju's heart. At once, an intense sense of danger assaulted Choju. What, he actually wants to kill me? Choju was shocked, quickly evading. Pew! A crisp sound and the bone spike pierced his shoulder, inches away from his heart, only after it stabbed through his back did it stop. You, Choju pointed at Fang Yuan, his trembling voice contained fear, shock, and confusion. Little Beast King, you madman. You really wanted to kill me, if I did not dodge, I would have died. That is the door of life and death, the door of life and death. Back then, even Ren Zhu had to spend all his effort to find it. This is an unparalleled holy land, the controller of life and death. As long as you can obtain it and comprehend it, you will attain immortality. Fang Yuan looked at him coldly, speaking plainly, didn't you say you can't tell me the secret? Then what use do I have of you? You can join the Shadow Sect. Choju's body was sweating, either out of pain or fear. Fang Yuan snorted coldly, raising his hand and aiming again. Choju quickly waved his hand, shouting, wait, don't be rash. There are other methods than this. We can use the poison vow GU. If we make a poison vow, we can trust each other. I do not need your trust. Fang Yuan replied coldly. Then use the slavery GU. I will acknowledge you as my master, don't kill me. You are a rank 5 GU master, we need to use the rank 5 slavery GU. This GU is extremely rare, way more expensive than its other rank 5 counterparts. Where do you want me to find it? Moreover, even if we use these GU, can you tell me the location of Shadow Sect's blessed land? Fang Yuan retorted. Choju's expression froze. Fang Yuan observed his expression, and his heart moved, knowing that the words were true. Fang Yuan's killing intent was not real, he was merely trying to test Choju. Choju suggested the poison vow GU, slavery GU, he was already frantic, but still did not dare to mention the location of the blessed land. It seems he really did make the sea oath. Choju wanted to lie and make up a random location. But as long as he did not die from the oath, it means he lied. If he said the real location, the oath would take his life as well. Or rather, even if he managed to say it, he would lose all his value and Fang Yuan would not let him off. In this situation, Cho Ju was at his wit's end. Recognizing this, he laughed bitterly, to think that I Cho Ju would die here today. Being able to die in my hands is your honor. Fang Yuan replied plainly. Cho Ju looked at Fang Yuan seriously, nodding in agreement. That's true, with your talent and mentality, as long as your luck is not too bad, you will definitely be a walking disaster of the demonic path. You want to kill me, there is no point in begging anymore. It is fine if I die in your hands, at least better than getting killed by those scumbags outside. Actually, I have a plan to allow you to learn about the door of life and death. Saying so, a cunning light flashed across Cho Ju's eyes. Chapter 385 Kindness, Grudge, Affection, Hatred. Chapter 385, Kindness, Grudge, Affection, Hatred. Oh, what method? Fang Yuan's eyebrows raised. Regarding this matter, I have to start from a long time ago. Cho Ju heaved a deep sigh as he recalled. Hatred, grief, deep love and other complicated expressions appeared on his face. I have no time to listen to your story. Fang Yuan ruthlessly interrupted. Cho Ju choked. Then I will make it short. My original name was Zheng Anyu. I was a farmer who made a living by collecting herbs. One time I unluckily fell from a cliff but I profited from it and entered Shadow Sect's blessed land. By passing the land spirits test, I was able to become a disciple of Shadow Sect. The sect only had 2 disciples, me and a senior sister. Senior sister's surname is Chen and her first name is Ju. She was as beautiful as an immortal fairy. She was raised by the land spirit since young and had never left the blessed land, thus her nature was truly innocent. Since birth, I was extremely ugly and had always suffered bullying and ridicule. But senior sister was always amiable and warm to me. I slowly started having feelings for her after being in contact with her all the time. We took an oath in front of the blessed land sea, to protect and stand by each other. We cultivated together and entered deep into the door of life and death, capturing life GU and death GU. That was the happiest time of my life and I had thought it could continue forever. After an earth calamity, the land spirit suffered injuries and went into hibernation. A hole appeared in the blessed land and connected it to the outside world, allowing a scoundrel to sneak in. This scoundrel was heavily injured at that time, and if I had known what would happen later because of him, I would have definitely killed him on the spot. But I didn't do that and instead saved him. He claimed his surname was Shang, and had blood-red hair. He had exceptional eloquence, and using his flowery words, he slowly deceived senior sister during his recuperation. His appearance was indeed slightly better than mine and used his pretty boy face to win senior sister's favor. Senior sister was innocent and ignorant. The more she talked with him, the happier she became. In the end, she took the initiative to take care of him in every possible way. We argued many times about this, falling out with each other a lot. After that thief recovered, I wanted to expel him and continue living a fairy tale life with senior sister. But who could have thought her heart had already changed and actually broke the oath we took at that time, injuring me and defecting with that scoundrel. I was really regretful. I regretted my compassion which led to a disaster, and I hated senior sister Chen Ju for falling in love with somebody else, and even more hatred towards that despicable scoundrel for robbing what I cherished. After I recovered from my injuries, I left the blessed land and roamed around southern border, searching for this adulterous couple. But what I didn't know was, this scoundrel had really high status and was the leader of Shang clan. Cho Ju paused and looked at Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan was expressionless. He knew many behind-the-scene details due to his previous life memories and already knew who Cho Ju was talking about in the middle of his conversation. Cho Ju could only give a forced smile at Fang Yuan's indifference. It seems you have already guessed their identities. That's right, that thief is the current Shang clan leader Shang Yanfei and my senior sister Chen Ju is Dr. Su Shou. Shang clan is a super clan while I am a lone force. I roamed around southern border all these years and put in a lot of effort to deal with this adulterous couple. Unfortunately I am going to die here today and have no way of achieving my wish. He. Fang Yuan silently listened to end and suddenly laughed. He looked at Cho Ju who was sitting on the ground, his eyes shining brightly. Killer Ghost Doctor, you made quite a good plan. According to your words, Shadow Sect has only you and Chen Ju. If you die, I will have to obtain the information about life and death door from Shang Yanfei and Dr. Su Shou. But why would they tell me about the matters regarding the blessed land of Shadow Sect so easily? At that time, we will have to fight, and no matter who wins, both will be favorable to you. Ha, little beast king, you are very blunt and straightforward. People who only plot and scheme will always act under the radar, but your thinking is meticulous and your way of doing things is domineering. You are truly a formidable person who has yet to shake the world. You are right, that is my plan. It is an open scheme and you have already seen through it, so are you still going to make inquiries about the shadow sect's blessed land from them? Killer Ghost Doctor laughed heartily. Fang Yuan looked at this rank 5 GU master for a while before sighing, of course. Life and Death Door was an immemorial forbidden ground like the River of Time. There were many unique GU inhabiting in that place. Spring-autumn cicada existed in the River of Time. Life and Death Door naturally also had similar immortal GU. It was impossible for Fang Yuan to not be moved by such an enormous benefits. Thus, he clearly knew Cho Ju's scheme, but was still going to go head first into it. Chu laughed loudly with tears appearing in his eyes. Little Beast King, although you are a talent of the younger generation, I really admire you. I really look forward to the future where you collide with that adulterous couple. It is a pity I won't be able to see it. Our shadow sect has different views on life and death. We encountered each other among the countless sea of people because of life and yet my death will be because of you. This is a truly extraordinary fate. Maybe, you really are fated to find shadow sect's blessed land and the door of life and death. I might as well give this mysterious fate to you and hope you can grasp it. Cho Ju became tranquil and his gaze were deep as if he had seen through life and death. It is no matter if I die now, after all in this world, who can live forever? One can gain a long life but immortality is a hopeless prospect. Even those immortal Venerable and Demon Venerable will only turn into ashes in the end. Little Beast King, I will end my own life, you don't need to do it. Saying so, he committed suicide by biting off his tongue. Blood sprayed out as his life went away. The Ghost Doctor, the head of the 4 great doctors in the future, died like this. I did not expect to gain such important information by killing this Ghost Doctor. Shadow sect's blessed land, life and death door, if I am able to rule them, they will definitely be a foundation to my hegemony. It seems I will have to change my plan again. Every single GU master who cultivated to rank 5 needed to go through the survival of the fittest and many competitions before they were able to distinguish themselves. None of them were a simple character. They all possessed their own individual opportunities, advantages, trump cards and secrets. Right now, all the rank 5 GU masters in the blessed land were annihilated by Fang Yuan. Tai Mu Bai, Wu Gui, Ku Mo, Wu Lanshan and Cho Ju had their own distinct individuality, deep foundation and powerful strength. If the current Fang Yuan was to fight them alone, any one of them could easily suppress him. He was absolutely not their match. So Dr. Su Shou's real name is Chen Ju while the killer ghost doctor named himself Cho Ju. It seems the hatred was born from love. No wonder in my previous life, during the Battle of Yitian Mountain, he took the initiative to go there and threw himself into that whirlpool, challenging Shang Yanfei and confronting Dr. Su Shou. And after he was taken as a prisoner, he exposed the matter back then and was killed by Shang Yanfei. As for the kindness, grudge, affection and hatred entangling these three, Fang Yuan did not want to judge. Sympathize with Cho Ju, but Dr. Su Shou's choice was also completely understandable. Favor the rich and disdain the poor, detest ugliness and love beauty, these were common in the world. Shang Yanfei was a famous handsome man in southern border. Comparing him to Cho Ju, one was day and another was night. The main reason Dr. Su Shou felt deeply attached to Cho Ju was because she was pure and Cho Ju was the first male she saw. And later when she met Shang Yanfei, her eyes were opened and had a comparison. Moreover, Chen Ju was someone who innately pursued beauty. When a patient came to visit her, she would first look at their appearance. If they were ugly, she would not treat them. If they were average, it would depend on her mood at that time and the patient's examination fees. If they were handsome and beautiful, she would treat them on the spot and not even charge fees. Someone reproached her for this and she argued righteously, "You ugly beings, the fact that you are alive is simply staining the beauty of life, you should all just die and that will solve all troubles. As for beautiful things, of course we need to cherish and protect them by all means." These words had caused an uproar in Shang Clan City at that time. In the end, Shang Yanfei personally appeared and suppressed this event. Dr. Su Shou's position in Shang Clan City was unique. Back when Fang Yuan and Bai Ningbing saw Dr. Su Shou together at Shang Clan City, the difference in her attitude was very clear. She was indifferent to Fang Yuan whereas she was very gentle and amiable to Bai Ningbing. But speaking of it, the 4 great doctors all have their own peculiarity. Leaving aside Killer Ghost Doctor and Dr. Su Shou, traveling Dr. Juji likes to disguise himself as an old beggar and wander around aimlessly. Divine Dr. Sheng Shou is a male who likes other males. Fang Yuan thought casually while taking out all the GU of Killer Ghost Doctor. Cho Ju had many GU worms. Most of them were healing GU and besides that were movement GU. He did not have rank 5 healing GU, but instead had a rank 5 movement GU called Warp GU. Warp Gu's shape was abstract and looked like a fried twisted dough. Its dark golden body was twisted around 7 to 8 times, its head was twisted around its body, its eyes and wings were misaligned, as if its creator had created it at a whim. However, this appearance instead matched with its original owner's appearance. Fang Yuan slightly sized it up before storing it. Then he used beast strength placenta GU to swallow Choju's aperture. Looking at Choju's corpse, he chuckled, Choju, you are really cunning. If I did not have my previous life's memories, I would have truly been deceived by you. Although Choju was dead, he was hiding a chance of resurrection. In Fang Yuan's previous life, Choju's throat had been cut and assassinated during the middle stage of the battle in Yitian Mountain. But not long later, he came back to life, causing both righteous and demonic path to be extremely startled. It turns out, he had used Remnant Life GU. Remnant Life GU was a rank 5 expendable GU, and as long as a GU master's body is intact after death, they can slowly recover after some time and resurrect. However, since Choju was at the Blessed Land, the Remnant Life Gu's law fragment in his body was suppressed by the heavenly power and could not activate for the time being. But as long as the Blessed Land slowly crumbles, its suppression power would weaken and the Remnant Life Gu's power could activate again and resurrect him. Choju had repeatedly praised and flattered Fang Yuan and put on a show that he was carefreely facing death. It was all to give a good impression to Fang Yuan so that after his death, his corpse would not be ripped apart by Fang Yuan. In truth, Fang Yuan also did not have a habit of mutilating corpses. But today, I will make an exception for you. Fang Yuan ruthlessly attacked and soon turned Choju's corpse into minced meat. He hesitated for a while and was still not satisfied, so he burnt the pool of blood and flesh into ashes. With a wave of his palm, the ashes fluttered and drifted everywhere. Choju, if you can still resurrect from this, I will admit you have skills. Ha 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 ha. Chapter 386 He also died. Chapter 386, he also died. This is the 48th round. Wu Shentong counted in his heart. He came from Wu clan, the #1 super clan in southern border, they had deep foundations, and were the supreme overlord of the righteous path. And he was the heavily nurtured enslavement path GU master in Wu clan, his attainments in enslavement was nothing to be scoffed at. Wu Shentong's name might sound domineering, but in truth, he was thin as a stick, his skin was pale yellow, and he looked like a sickly scholar. In truth, he once had a broad shoulder and thin waist, and had a perfect body. But in one battle, he was afflicted with Long Qing Tian's Jade Sky GU poison. He went to Divine Dr. Sheng Shou for treatment. Divine Dr. Sheng Shou touched his chest, his eyes shining as he sighed, "You came too late. The GU poison has seeped into your bone marrow. I can preserve your life and cultivation, but because this poison is deeply rooted, it cannot be removed. From now you have to come here once in a while for treatment, I will help you detox at regular intervals." Precisely because of Jade Sky Gu's poison, Wu Shentong became thinner and thinner each day, eventually ending up like this. I wonder which GU master is my next opponent. Wu Shentong walked in the fog, his gaze solemn. Just earlier, in the 3 options, he chose the front path. In King Quan Inheritance, towards the later stages, more options appeared. Most GU masters would choose to fight dog groups for safety, and in truth, they only chose other GU masters out of desperation. No matter how big the dog group is, they were still beasts. With a GU master's guidance, even if the dog group is weak, they possessed great threat. Wu Shentong however, took the opposite route. Whenever he was given a chance to battle another GU master, he would not choose any other path. In terms of enslavement path mastery, I am top tier in southern border. In this Sancha mountain, I am almost the best. Only 2 people can threaten me, one is Wu Gui because he is a rank 5 GU master that had once walked the enslavement path. But sadly, enslavement path used too much resources and he had to change paths midway. The other is Zhang San, he is a true enslavement GU master, but his cultivation is inferior to me. In the enslavement path, Wu Shentong had great advantage. In terms of seniority, Zhang San was his junior. In this King Quan Inheritance, even if he had to fight Wu Gui head-on, he had no fear. With such great strength, he obviously had to target his enemies and eliminate as many competitors as possible. Eventually, he will be left alone to devour this King Quan Inheritance. This was Wu Shentong's brilliance. If I had to count, my next opponent should be the 23rd. Hee, it is your bad luck to have encouraged me. Wu Shentong snorted internally as he stopped his steps. Beside him, his group dog guarded him closely. He looked at the other end of the fog. From the fog, a group of green-purple dogs with rotting skin appeared. Oh, corpse dogs. Wu Shentong laughed lightly. He knew that these dogs were extremely useful early on in the inheritance. That is because these dogs can consume corpses to recover their injuries. But towards the later parts, these corpse dogs would get weaker and weaker. That is because, these dogs were not as fast as the lightning symbol dogs, had lower defense than the steel armor dogs, and were not as united as the chrysanthemum Akita dogs. Only those half-assed enslavement path GU masters would love these useless corpse dogs. Different paths are worlds apart. How would those who aren't enslavement path GU masters know the true meaning of enslavement path without decades of experience? Wu Shentong thought about those GU masters and laughed in disdain. But the next moment, he frowned lightly. From the fog before him, corpse dogs continued to appear. This number is slightly huge. It seems that to win, I will have to pay a small price. Wu Shentong thought. But soon, at the same time as the corpse dogs, different kinds of dogs started appearing in his vision. Chrysanthemum Akita dogs. The number is slightly big. It seems this person has some attainments in the enslavement path. Wu Shentong nodded lightly. A combination of chrysanthemum Akita dogs and corpse dogs. Although the number is slightly big, their formation is extremely brittle. I just have to use a few dog kings to charge forward later, and they would disperse easily. As long as I act forcefully, I would be able to defeat them and attain victory. The other party actually has hedgedogs. From the fog, Wu Shentong saw hedgedogs appearing. These dogs, their entire bodies were filled with spikes. Attacking them would injure oneself. If the steel armor dogs with huge defense were called tough, then these hedgedogs were tough with spikes. To eliminate them, one has to be prepared to get their throats punctured. So many hedgedogs. It seems this person is lucky, being able to gather such a huge group. Why didn't I have such luck? Wu Shentong sighed, immediately changing his battle strategy. The opponent had hedgedogs. I will use the steel armor dogs as the vanguard, and flank with the lightning symbol dogs. Once they engage in battle, the steel armor dogs will charge in an encircle with the lightning symbol dogs, attaining victory easily. But after the hedgedogs appeared, large numbers of lightning symbol dogs appeared from the fog. Wu Shentong's expression turned grim. The appearance of the dog group meant his earlier strategy no longer worked. That is because the opponent possessed a dog with high speed like lightning symbol dog. They could reverse flank him. To think they also have the lightning symbol dogs, and so many. More and more lightning symbol dogs appeared in his vision, as Wu Shentong's expression turned ugly. He thought, the other party has so many dogs, this cannot be explained with luck. Evidently, the other part is also an experienced enslavement path GU master, already able to threaten him. Who is it? Is it Wu Gui or Zhang San? Regardless, this will be a tough fight. I can only improvise my battle tactic, and change accordingly. Thankfully, I have a token. Thinking so, Wu Shentong's heart settled. He took a look at his dog troop. There, a group of dogs laid on the ground, around 120. The dogs were large in size, twice the size of ordinary dogs. They had sharp claws and their backs were wide and thick, while their nose and mouth resembled a lion's. This was the heavy tie dog. Heavy tie dog had defense equivalent to the steel armor dogs. In terms of unity, they matched the chrysanthemum Akita dogs. In this King Quan inheritance, out of the 100 types of dogs, only a few can be part of the main troop. Heavy tie dog is one of them. Lightning symbol dog, chrysanthemum Akita dog, and steel armor dog. These dogs are too extreme, their weaknesses are too apparently, they cannot be relied on. Only a dog like heavy tie dog can be relied on. The larger the numbers, the stronger their battle strength. Wu Shentong looked at his heavy tie dogs, feeling satisfied. These were saved up by him after much difficulty. In usual battles, he did not use them, saving them until now. It seems this will be a hard battle. I have to use the heavy tie dogs. I believe that when I strike, the opponent should be very surprised. Ha ha ha. Thinking of this, Wu Shentong's lips curled into a smile. But the next moment, his smile froze on his face. From the other end of the fog, heavy tie dogs appeared too. The other party also have heavy tie dogs. Indeed, they are an expert in enslavement path. They naturally understand the excellence of the heavy tie dogs, thus they kept a few. More and more heavy tie dogs appeared from the fog, as Wu Shentong started squinting, his brows frowning into a wrinkle. So many, why do they have so many heavy tie dogs? He had always regarded the heavy tie dogs as his trump card, seeing his opponent have them placed much mental pressure on Wu Shentong. Suddenly, Wu Shentong's pupils shrunk as he stared at the fog. He saw a domineering dog king. Heavy tie dog king. They actually have a heavy tie dog king. Wu Shentong saw this and his heart sank. With the dog king, the dog group's battle strength will surge several times. More importantly, Wu Shentong does not have a heavy tie dog king to fight back. His trump card would be suppressed by his opponent's dog king and have less fighting strength than normal. In just a short moment, his trump card was no more. Tough battle. This will be an unprecedentedly tough battle. Who is it? Wu Gui or Zhang San? It has to be one of them. High chance it is Wu Gui. Wu Shentong had lost his confidence towards this battle. The opponent's troops are larger than mine, I am likely to lose this. Even if I win this, it will be a tough victory and I would face great losses, unable to continue anymore. Wu Shentong felt regret already. But very quickly, he felt more than just simply regret. His eye socket expanded more and more, as his mouth opened subconsciously. His eyeballs were bulging out of his sockets, like his head was hit on the back. His expression turned from suspicious to shock, from shock to fear. From the fog, not only did a large number of heavy tie dogs appear, even green Hua dogs, smoke song dogs, light hang dogs and star hang dogs appeared. Green Hua dogs, a body covered in green scales, having an extraordinary disposition. Smoke song dogs, oozing smoke from its nose and mouth, extremely rebellious. Light hang dogs, a body of white fur, bright and gentle. Star hang dogs, long and slim, stood out from the crowd. How is this possible? Wu Shentong screamed. Green Hua, Smoke Song, Light Hang and Star Hang all have differing specialties, they are on the same level, known as the 5 Great Mountain One dogs collectively, able to form a grand formation. How did they get so many dogs? What was hardest for Wu Shentong to believe was that the other party not only had large numbers of 5 Great Mountain dogs, they also had their respective dog kings. Who in the world is he? How can he have so many dog kings? Unbelievable. Is this an illusion? In the fog, dogs were still coming out one after another, causing a great mental impact on Wu Shentong. Compared to him, the other party was like a giant fighting a baby. They could be compared at all. Wu Shentong had no battle intent left. He had no way of winning this battle. The other party just has to wave their hand and the dog groups would overwhelm him, regardless of his manipulation skills, there was no difference. The difference in military force could not be made up for with technical skills. Who is it? Did a rank 5 enslavement path GU master come to Sancha Mountain? Impossible. Even if it is a rank 5 enslavement path GU master, how can they have such a large army? I have to see who the other party is. Wu Shentong grabbed his token as he stared at the fog. From the fog, a persona appeared, finally revealing your true identity. Wu Shentong's sweat was dripping down his forehead as he gulped. Swoosh. At this moment, there was a light sound and Fang Yuan appeared behind him. Who? Wu Shentong felt something and before he turned back. Fang Yuan placed his palm on his head, squeezing. Splat. His head was popped like a balloon. He was dead too. From the fog, Bai Ningbing walked out casually. How many rounds left? She looked at Fang Yuan, yawning, like she had not gotten out of bed. Chapter 387 Rank 5 Slavery GU. Chapter 387, Rank 5 Slavery GU. Others had to rack their brains and make countless plans to advance through the rounds. People like Wu Shentong and Wu Gui also had to meticulously plan and choose their options. But with the help of the land spirit, Bai Ningbing just had to move forward. The pitiful Wu Shentong, a grand rank 4 peak stage GU master, could not even see Bai Ningbing's appearance at the end. As for Fang Yuan's appearance, Bai Ningbing was not in the least bit surprised because the land spirit had reminded her. In fact, this was the cooperation of the two. Fang Yuan needed Wu Shentong's aperture while Bai Ningbing needed Wu Shentong's enslavement path GU worms and these dog groups he had accumulated. With Wu Shentong's death, his large dog beasts group was naturally incorporated into Bai Ningbing's troops, increasing her enormous dog army by 10%. Looking at the vast dog group, Fang Yuan joyfully nodded, your dog beasts army has already become an initial formation. In this King Quan inheritance, with this group, you can already snowball to the final round without any problems. Remember, at the last few rounds, there are a large group of lion mastiffs. These lion mastiffs are all mutated beasts and have much more battle prowess than the 5 great mountain dogs. They were the trump cards of King Quan. Besides them, there are 2 dog emperors, ancient mutated beasts which are more powerful than common mutated beasts. Back in the day, they were the left and right arms of King Quan, each of them can match a rank 5 GU master, you must subdue them. Bai Ningbing nodded and left, continuing to charge through the rounds. You are indeed someone who came from the future, using spring-autumn cicada to come back to the past. You know about Three Kings' inheritance inside out. The land spirit transmitted its voice and praised, I need to remind you, the immortal essence portions are almost depleted and are only enough for you to kill 2 more people. Who do you plan on killing next? Fang Yuan nodded and said without hesitation, Zhang San. Beast placenta GU already had 89% aptitude and shone like a gem. Compared to its previous rough muddy shape, the difference was like night and day. Killing 2 more rank 4 GU masters was enough to achieve 90% aptitude. Second aperture's aptitude could not be higher than the GU master's first aperture. Fang Yuan's first aperture was a grade of 90%. Thus, the second aperture Gu's current limit was also a grade 90%. Even if he raised it to 99%, when it was used, Fang Yuan would only have 90%. The remaining 9% aptitude would be wasted. Of course, if Fang Yuan could raise his first aperture's aptitude in the future, the second aperture would also have the potential to rise. Zhang San was only a rank 4 upper stage GU master, a stage lower than GU masters like Yi Huo and Kong Ritian. But in Fang Yuan's view, he was the enemy who possessed the most threat. It was because he was an enslavement path GU master second only to Wu Shentong and Wu Gui. Fang Yuan had a plan. Bai Ningbing is not an enslavement path GU master in the end and is a complete newbie at commanding the dog groups. Later, she will definitely be confused when commanding so many dog beasts. It will be remarkable if she doesn't make any mistakes. Fortunately, I don't need her to command and control the dog beasts, and only need her to form a huge battle formation to protect the main hall and wait quietly. Like this, it would greatly fill up for her inadequacy in commanding ability. However, such battle formation would be extremely rigid and in case she runs into a proficient enslavement path expert, the situation would turn into a mess. For instance, Wu Shentong and Wu Gui would only need to command a small group of dogs to make several attacks and probe out the actual situation. They could then send troops to lure the dog beasts repeatedly and cause disorder in the battle formation, creating a hole in the defense. Fang Yuan would need to concentrate all his attention at the crucial stage of refining GU. Land spirit would also become very weak and all the defense would lie in the dog group, so Fang Yuan naturally wanted to eliminate the enslavement path GU masters who possessed the most threat. After a while, Fang Yuan killed Zhang San very smoothly. Even Wu Gui, Wu Shentong and the others were killed by Fang Yuan. Zhang San naturally could not escape his claws. But his death gave Fang Yuan an unexpected surprise. From Zhang San's aperture, Fang Yuan actually obtained a rank 5 slavery GU. Slavery GU were available from rank 1 to rank 5. Once these GU were implanted on someone, it could control that GU master. Rank 5 enslavement GU could be used to control rank 5 GU master and was thus very precious and extremely rare. Back in the day on Qingmao Mountain, GUU clan's 4th generation clan leader had a great battle with Flower Wine Monk. After he lost the battle, he asked for forgiveness and said he was willing to be enslaved by slavery GU and be at Flower Wine Monk's disposal. In the end, Flower Wine Monk was deceived by these words and during his moment of carelessness, he was counterattacked by the 4th generation clan leader, dying regretfully on Qingmao Mountain. Famous GU masters are not to be underestimated. This Zhang San is an enslavement path GU master. It is not strange for him to possess enslavement GU. The reason he had not used it was to wait for a good opportunity and get a rank 5 expert. After all, if a rank 5 slavery GU were to be used on a rank 4 GU master, it would be a huge loss. Fang Yuan slightly thought and guessed Zhang San's thoughts. He looked at the beast placenta GU, its aptitude had already neared 90%, he only needed to kill 1 more. Immortal essence portions were exhausted, so Fang Yuan could only kill 1 more anyway. With this enslavement GU, I can control 1 person. Sigh, if I had known this Zhang San had this GU, I would have first killed him and used the enslavement GU to subdue a rank 5 GU master. Fang Yuan felt some regret. If he had used this GU to subdue Time Yu Bai, it would be greatly advantageous to his GU refinement. Even if he did not get Time Yu Bai, Wu Gui, Ku Mo, Wu Lanshan or Chou Ju were also extremely good choices. However now, they were all dead. Fang Yuan at best could only subdue rank 4 GU master, but using rank 5 enslavement GU on rank 4 GU masters was equivalent to using an ox cleaver to kill chicken, a complete waste of its value. However, despite the rank 5 enslavement GU being extremely precious and it would be a waste of its value, Fang Yuan was still going to use it. He would be facing enormous risks while refining second aperture GU, and would no doubt be much safer with a second rank 4 GU master beside him. But there were so many rank 4 GU masters in the Blessed Land, who should he subdue? Yi Huo, Kong Ri Tian, Long Qing Tian, Yi Chong along with Li Feila, Dao Zi, Feng Tianyu, Yan Jun, Li Xian, Hu Mei'er, Tai Clan's 4 old-timers, Tai Ruo Nan and others. Some were powerful, some were cunning, some were sinister, some were brave, some specialized in long-ranged attacks, some had outstanding movement ability, some were superior in healing, some had huge wealth, some had large connections. Every choice had its consequences. Fang Yuan's thoughts rumbled like lightning, and after thinking for a good while, he decided upon a choice. It shall be him. Land Spirit, transport me. Fang Yuan decided and said with no hesitation. After about 3 minutes, Feng Tianyu was kneeling in front of Fang Yuan and wholeheartedly said, "This subordinate Feng Tianyu greets Master. Feng Tianyu, you could refine rank 5 GU when you were at rank 3. Although the rank 5 GU died after half a day, you achieved instant reputation from this. Now, things have changed, your clan is dwindling and facing extinction, you are no longer the young clan leader that had infinite prospects once." Fang Yuan looked at the kneeling Feng Tianyu and said indifferently. Feng Tianyu raised his head. "Having Lord as my master, it is this subordinate's honor and fortune. It is good that you understand this point. Next, continue to charge through the rounds according to my instructions. King Shin Inheritance has an undefeated 100 battles GU, bring it to me." Fang Yuan instructed. "Yes, this subordinate will exhaust all his strength to do this task for master." Feng Tianyu promptly replied. Under the control of the enslavement GU, he had become a loyal and devoted slave of Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan felt reassured at Feng Tianyu. He was not only a famous and talented Grand Master of the refinement path in southern border, he was the biggest beneficiary of King Shin's inheritance in his previous life. In Fang Yuan's memories, it was him who obtained undefeated 100 battles GU. Now after rebirth, Fang Yuan was not only going to obtain undefeated 100 battles GU, but also take the original owner as his subordinate. Feng Tianyu will be guided by the land spirit, it won't be a problem for him to charge through King Shin's inheritance. Like this, I have already acquired 2 of 3 kings' inheritance. However, this was also not Fang Yuan's main reason. The reason why he chose Feng Tianyu was because of his innate talent at refinement path. After all, it was the first time Fang Yuan was refining the second aperture GU. With such a grand master of refinement path beside him, it would definitely be a huge help in refining the GU. After taking in Feng Tianyu, Fang Yuan began to consider his last target to kill. Kill who? Fang Yuan's first thought was not the strongest Yi Huo and was also not the influential Hu Mei'er and Dao Zi, but rather Tai Ruo Nan. Like Tai Mu Bai, Fang Yuan also thought highly of Tai Ruo Nan's future prospects. Such a genius that had already been sharpened through trials, if she was allowed to grow, she was bound to be a huge threat. She was more terrifying than even Yi Huo and others. However, the problem now was, the threat Tai Ruo Nan brought to Fang Yuan was far lower than GU masters like Yi Huo, Kong Ri Tian and others. For the second aperture GU refinement, if Fang Yuan killed Yi Huo, it would absolutely be more helpful than killing Tai Ruo Nan. To kill Yi Huo just to be safe, or root out Tai Ruo Nan in consideration of the future. Fang Yuan's thoughts were suddenly interrupted by the land spirit. Not good, something happened. What? Fang Yuan was surprised, the land spirit's tone hid a trace of panic. A rank 4 GU master has discovered a weak area of the Blessed Land. That area had been seriously damaged due to earth calamity, the heavenly power at that area is the weakest and the GU masters can use 1 GU there. Now, he is using a rank 5 GU to spread poison all over the place. He will open a passage to the outside world in around 8 minutes at this rate, and create a hole in the Blessed Land. Fang Yuan immediately sensed the seriousness of the matter. In his previous life, he was a rank 6 GU immortal and had once possessed a Blessed Land, naturally knowing the importance of this. If there was a hole in the Blessed Land and it connects with the outside world, the immortal essence expenditure would double. If it was not stopped and repaired in time, the hole would grow bigger and bigger, finally attracting winds of assimilation. Once the winds of assimilation blew, the Blessed Land would be destroyed. I have already separated and cut off most of the areas with holes in the Blessed Land. But there are 3 places that are in crucial areas and can't be cut off. To think this person's luck is so good to actually bump into one of the areas and even be aware of the hole. For the actual situation, take a look. The land spirit heaved a sigh. A scene appeared in front of Fang Yuan. In the scene, there was a GU master wearing dark blue robe. He was thin and his gaze was gloomy. It was none other than Long Qingtian. Right now, he was activating his soul rank 5 poison GU, Jade Sky. Everywhere around him, the land and the sky were all suffused with a layer of pale green light. He who once dyed the sky jade green. Jade Sky GU was Long Qingtian's core trump card, a GU from the immemorial times and was fundamental extinct now. Long Qingtian had used this GU to roam southern border and gain terrifying reputation for poisoning countless people. Now, he was poisoning this part of the blessed land. Chapter 388 Jade Sky Qingtian, who Immortal Jin Huang. Chapter 388. Jade Sky Qingtian, who Immortal Jin Huang. To think my luck is so good, I accidentally found this weakened zone. Long Qingtian's gaze shone as he showed an excited expression. After all, although the three kings' inheritance had 100 rounds, each one had multiple choices, like the branches of a gigantic tree. Him arriving at this place was rarer than 1 out of 10,000, his luck was maxed out. The heavenly power restricting this place is very weak, I can actually use 1 GU. Haha, I will use the Jade Sky GU and poison this blessed land, that way, I will be able to communicate with the main world and form a connection. Once the path is made, I will be able to use GU worms here at will, I will not have to obey the three kings' rules. After that, I will use this place as my base and expand my influence, and get all the rewards. Who is it? Long Qingtian sensed something and turned around, seeing one person far away. Little Beast King Fang Zheng. Long Qingtian squinted, feeling weird that Fang Yuan was here. Fang Yuan did not reply, he waved his hand and a bone spike flew out. Long Qingtian snorted, activating his defensive GU. All around him was the jade-green Jade Sky Goose poison, already invading a huge area. Fang Yuan did not have detoxification methods and did not dare to touch the GU poison, thus he could only engage in long-range battle. At this time, Fang Yuan only had the mutated beast phantoms left, but he did not have the rank 4 all-out effort GU, thus he could not summon them as he wished. But he had killed so many GU master experts, and obtained many different GU worms that could be used for long-range attacks. In a few rounds of battle, Long Qingtian was defeated by Fang Yuan. Long Qingtian could only use 1 GU at any given time. Fang Yuan could use any number of GU with the help of the land spirit. The difference between the two was huge. Although he won, Fang Yuan's expression was ugly. Long Qingtian's corpse was a pale jade green color, already poisoned by the Jade Sky GU poison. This demonic expert, before his death, smiled at Fang Yuan darkly, before activating the Jade Sky GU and killed himself with poison. Fang Yuan did not kill Long Qingtian, he knew he had no hopes of surviving and suicided. As expected of a demonic head, Fang Yuan breathed out deeply. Jade Sky GU contained a special poison from the immemorial era, it is already extinct. In the current southern border, only the 4 great doctors can cleanse it. If Fang Yuan wanted to devour his aperture, he would have to make contact with the poison. If he got poisoned, in less than 2 hours, his whole body will fade into a green light. Very few GU masters could survive after getting hit with the Jade Sky GU poison. Wu Shentong from Wu clan was extremely lucky. Even if Fang Yuan risked getting poisoned, he might not get any GU. With the weak heavenly power here, Long Qingtian could easily self-detonate his GU worms one by one. The benefits were not proportional to the risks, Fang Yuan would not do it. But because of this, my last portion of immortal essence has been expended on Long Qingtian. The beast strength placenta goose aptitude can only reach 89%. Fang Yuan felt great pity, after working so hard, he did not reach his desired 90%. I am after all too weak. The execution of these kind of plans can only be left to chances. This unexpected situation that Long Qingtian caused caught him off guard. Fang Yuan was human, not God, he did not expect this to occur. Although he had his previous life's memories, and could clearly recall the details, for such minor details, if nobody mentioned it, who would know? Moreover, after his rebirth, he changed many events. Whether this incident by Long Qingtian happened in his previous life was unknown. Never mind about the beast strength placenta GU, what's worse is that the land had already been infected by the Jade Sky GU poison, the poison will eventually break out. By then, this land will rot, and turn into green-blue light, creating a huge hole. Fang Yuan looked at this area, as the green color darkened and spread further out. Such a loophole would accelerate the blessed land's destruction. That also means that the land spirit will get even weaker. If it was a younger blessed land, as long as immortal essence is sufficient, even if the poison cannot be cured, it will be able to cut away this rotten area and fix the hole. But this blessed land is already too old, and lack in immortal essence. Forming a hole here now is like the last straw that breaks the camel's back. Sigh, I have little time left to refine Gu, I must hurry. At this point, Fang Yuan's merciless slaughter had reached its end. He returned to the hall, and fought against time, refining his Gu. As days passed, spring-autumn cicadas pressure intensified. Fang Yuan only slept an hour a day, forcing himself to the limits. As he worked hard like his life was on the line, other than a few unavoidable failures, his process was rapid. Even the land spirit was full of praises. While Fang Yuan moved closer towards success, his younger brother was extremely high-spirited. Central Continent, TNT Mountain. At the middle of Hu Immortal Blessed Land, on Danghun Mountain, Fang Zheng climbed with great effort, surpassing people after people. During this period, he became the center of attention, attracting many people's gazes. It's him, that Fang Zheng from Immortal Crane Sect. He surpassed another person again. Someone was jealous and envious. Fang Zheng, looking at Fang Zheng's ascending silhouette, Fairy Bai Sha had a complicated gaze. Something weird is going on with this lad. At this rate, he might be the first to reach the peak. Wei Wushang, who has some rivalry with Fang Zheng, had to admit that Fang Zheng had a high chance of success. Fang Zheng used both his hands and legs, climbing laboriously. He breathed raggedly. With Lord Sky Crane's help, he surpassed the 10 sectolites one by one. Eventually, there were only 3 people above him. Xiao Qi Xing, Ying Shengji, Feng Jin Huang. This lad is finally at the front. I did not use one's own Wei Jiu in vain. He Feng Yang was watching closely. After seeing this, he sighed in relief. Without any accidents, the victor will be one of these 4. A Gu Immortal said mentally. Immortal Crane Sect speed is fast, but it is still uncertain who wins until the last second. Indeed, Immortal Crane Sect is only 4th now, and had a huge difference with the first 3. Now, it depends on whether he can surpass them in the limited time ahead. The Gu Immortals conversed. The entire inheritance competition had reached its final stage. In the Grand Hall, a lump of multicolored light about the size of a water tank floated in the air as it spun. Fang Yuan controlled it as his eyes were bloodshot, muttering, "Retrieve 90 grams of willow orpiment." At once, a relief sculpture moved away from the flooring, and turned into solid mass. It was the willow orpiment. This was a material was from ancient times, rarely seen in today's world. It was retrieved by land spirit, carving out 90 grams and placing it into the rainbow-colored light. Fang Yuan concentrated, not having any carelessness. As the light turned yellow, he spoke, "Retrieve 30 snowball Gu." 30 snowball Gu flew into the yellow light. The light lump that was water tank size was still yellow, but its volume was shrinking. Eventually, it turned into a tiny inconspicuous soil yellow rock. Fang Yuan carefully held this rock, breathing in deeply. To refine this Gu, he spent 2 days and 1 night. It had finally ended. He was extremely tired, lying down and falling asleep immediately, wanting to sleep for an entire week straight. But after an hour, he was woken up by the land spirit. This rock could not exist for long. After another 15 minutes, it would evaporate. By then, Fang Yuan's hard work would have gone down the drain, and he would need to start over. Refining Gu is difficult. It has to be a strength path Gu master that has mastery over the refinement path. Even I, who has my memories and foundation, found it hard, and almost failed many times before. It was truly nerve-wracking. No wonder no one managed to refine the second aperture Gu in my previous life. Fang Yuan sighed as he patted his cheeks, waking himself up. After resting for an hour, he felt much better, but his head was still heavy. He had used up too much mental energy, and he was mentally drained. The second aperture Gu was a rank 6 Gu. Refining an immortal Gu was not an easy task. Fang Yuan did not need to look at the mirror to know that he definitely looked pale with deep eye bags, having messy hair and an extremely exhausted expression. Land Spirit, how much immortal essence left? He asked. 5 portions left. Land Spirit answered. Weakness could be felt from its voice. 18 days had passed since Long Qingtian was killed. The rate of weakening of the blessed land shocked Fang Yuan secretly. To sustain the 3 kings' inheritance, immortal essence was expended greatly. Such a phenomenon had caused the outside world to go wild. At this period, more and more Gu master came to explore to blessed land. Some were established experts. Only 5 portions of immortal essence are left, but the Gu refinement is only 2/3 done. Land spirit, what day and month is it? Fang Yuan asked with a grim expression. According to your calendar, today is the 19th of October. 19th of October, according to my calculations, the second aperture goose refinement will reach the last step in 5 days. October 24th EH. In history, isn't this the day where Feng Jinhuang attains victory and inherits the Immortal blessed land? Fang Yuan thought of Feng Jinhuang. This girl had exemplary talent and a strong background. After inheriting Immortal blessed land, she shot up rapidly. In future, she cultivated to Gu Immortal realm using this, and spread her influence throughout the world, shining with a brilliant light. In Fang Yuan's previous life, he escaped southern border and arrived at central continent, becoming a Gu Immortal, and after creating the Bloodwing demonic sect, this woman was his mortal enemy. They had at least a few hundred battles, and eventually, Fang Yuan allied with numerous demonic path Gu Immortals and attacked Immortal blessed land together, paying a painful price to kill her. My influence now should not have reached central continent yet. Feng Jinhuang obtained Immortal blessed land, the benefit was as great as the heaven. Even second aperture Gu cannot compare to it. Fang Yuan sighed, his previous life's enemy was about to soar to heaven, yet he was too far away and could not stop it. Fang Yuan did not know that his brother was still alive, and was engaging in a fierce competition with Feng Jinhuang and the others. The influence of his rebirth had already affected central continent's 10 sects. Chapter 389 Only one step left. Chapter 389, Only one step left. October 20th. In the main hall, faint red rays of light began to vanish and shone upon the surroundings. The relief sculptures on the bronze tiles had already disappeared by more than half. Fang Yuan's face was pale and he looked haggard, his eyes were red as his gaze was fixed at every change in the light lump. Everything was silent. October 21st. The land spirit brought a bad news, a rank 5 expert had entered the blessed land. Fang Yuan looked at the image and immediately recognized this person, so it was Xiao Mang of Xiao clan. He is an expert of the light path and possesses rank 5 extreme light Gu. In my previous life, he appeared on Sancha mountain, he came after all. The land spirit gasped, extreme light Gu. Then it means this Xiao Mang can summon the light of glory of the immemorial era. This enemy is a huge threat to us. The land spirit was extremely worried. Immemorial times had 9 heavens: white heaven, red heaven, orange heaven, yellow heaven, green heaven, azure heaven, blue heaven, purple heaven and black heaven. The sunlight of the immemorial era was extraordinary, it was the light of glory and could pierce through the 9 heavens and spread its warmth and grace to all living beings. At present, red, orange, yellow, green, azure, blue and purple heavens were no more, only white heaven and black heaven remained. The sunlight no longer contained the glory of the immemorial era, and had weakened to the extreme, being able to pierce through only the white heaven. Rank 5 extreme light Gu, once activate, could burst out with the intense light of glory of immemorial era. This light did not have even a little bit of attack power, but it could pass through everything and shine upon on every corner of the world. That is to say, even this blessed land could not cut off immemorial light. Fang Yuan scoffed. Ba Gui, you can be relieved. He obtained the extreme light Gu from robbing a tomb and is an incomplete Gu. He can only use it 3 times every month. If he crosses this limit, the Gu will self-destruct. The land spirit let out a breath of relief. That's good. These days, I have been getting weaker. At the final juncture, you will have to rely on yourself. Hee, I have always liked relying on myself. Fang Yuan laughed and continued to refine Gu without saying any more. October 22nd. Puff. Damn it, another failure. Fang Yuan spat out a large mouthful of blood, his eyes turned black and almost lost his consciousness. He gritted his teeth and held the ground, he felt the world was spinning, he seemed to see stars and there were continuous buzzing sounds in his ears. Especially, his chest felt stifled and he felt like vomiting. After a long while, this nauseous feeling eased slightly. Fang Yuan let out a breath of turbid air and slowly sat down. Failure in Gu refinement will cause a backlash. I have already failed 3 times in this step. It is not that my skills are bad, I already did it perfectly, but this step seems to rely on luck and has a probability of 1 in a 10 chance of success. Sigh, there is no time. Fang Yuan was looking pale, he resisted the pain of the backlash with great difficulty and began his 4th attempt. At this moment, the immortal essence in the bronze cauldron was less than 4 portions. October 23rd. Fang Yuan stopped his actions and looked at the Gu worm in his hand with bright light shining in his eyes. This Gu was like a beetle with a big and graceful belly, a pointed head and tail. It did not have any legs or antennas. Its shape was vague, seemingly like a vague carving on crude earthenware, with no vitality like a gray stone. The earth spirit was joyous. Young man, I really didn't misjudge you. You have succeeded in refining this false GU, now you only need to advance a step and turn false into real and refine the true second aperture GU. That's right, only one step remains. Fang Yuan's tone was complicated, relaxed and yet heavy. Refining this second aperture GU was like climbing a mountain. There were thousands of steps and who knew how many times he had failed, and he had gotten almost no rest, but finally he reached this stage. His previous effort and investment were not in vain, thus he was relaxed. However, this final step was the most crucial moment, a step of qualitative change and required the use of Immortal GU Divine Travel GU. Although Fang Yuan had succeeded in refining Spring-Autumn Cicada, he had never used Immortal GU to refine Immortal GU. This final step was the step which he did not have any certainty of, so his mood was heavy. 300 years is spring, 500 years is autumn. With unlimited divine opportunity, swim and roam in the wilds, adding in third watch, and another third watch, obtaining 9. 9 is extreme, the refinement is complete. This final step required the use of Lifespan GU, Divine Travel GU and also 2 third watch GU. Fang Yuan pondered. He understood the earlier steps and could even modify them. But as for this step, he only slightly understood its real intent. Land Spirit, what changes have occurred in the Blessed Land? Fang Yuan suddenly asked. 2 batch of troops have arrived with dozens of rank 3 GU masters, each being led by a rank 4 GU master. Their momentum is great. The Land Spirit showed the scenes to Fang Yuan. So it is Che clan and Zuo clan, Tisk, the 2 clan leaders are leading and it seems most of the elders have come. Fang Yuan recognized them with a glance. The whole Sancha mountain was located in between Zuo clan's Lengchan mountain and Che clan's Feilai mountain. These 2 clans were continuously expanding and in the recent years, had been competing at the front line of Sancha mountain with the intent to occupy it. However, the sudden appearance of the 3 kings' inheritance thoroughly ruined these 2 clans' plan. There were 100,000 famous mountains in the whole southern border along with countless unnamed mountains and hills which were covered with wild and ferocious beasts. Their surroundings were dangerous and extremely hard to pass. Other forces could only send their elites. But these 2 clans were nearby and had restrained themselves at the beginning, but now when they felt the strange change in the inheritance, they finally sent most of their troops. To Fang Yuan, this was bad news. At the final juncture, everyone was sure to attack the center of the Blessed Land, this main hall. These Che clan and Zuo clan's troops were all Fang Yuan's enemies. Besides them, when the time comes, there will be Li Xian, Hu Mei'er, Yi Huo, Kong Ritian and other experts. At the final juncture, I will have to concentrate fully on refining GU and leave the defense to Land Spirit, by Ningbing and Feng Tianyu. This is however only the external danger. At the final step, I will need to use 2 third watch GU in a row, causing the time to flow 9 times faster on me. This is a great tonic to Spring-Autumn Cicada and at that time, its pressure will increase drastically and endanger my aperture. This is the internal danger. With both internal and external danger, danger lurks everywhere. But I can only grit my teeth and persevere. I have already reached this stage, only 1 step remains before I am able to step on the summit. I will bet on this. If I really succeed, I will have a second aperture and as I cultivate to rank 6 in future, I will not fall too far behind Feng Jinhuang. In Fang Yuan's plan after rebirth, Qingmao Mountain and Shang clan were only a platform while the second aperture GU was the stepping stone. But it was because of these small accumulations that he could sprint further. Next, there will be many opportunities which he would have no qualifications to participate without a certain cultivation and strength. All living beings have to go through survival of the fittest. I can't compromise on these opportunities and have to make every second count. Only then will I not let down my future knowledge. Fang Yuan heaved a long sigh before beginning to rest, preparing for the final day. October 24th, Fang Yuan woke up from his deep sleep and slowly opened his eyes. It has been so many days since I had such a comfortable sleep. Next is the great battle. He stood up and slowly paced around the main hall. Under the Land Spirit's guidance, there were already 2 people standing outside the main hall. Master, Feng Tianyu immediately kneeled in front of Fang Yuan and offered a GU worm. This GU was nothing special in its appearance, looking like a round piece of limestone. It was none other than undefeated 100 battles GU. Subordinate was able to accomplish the mission, and after going through the 100th round and receiving King Shin inheritance, I was able to take in these hairy men. At his side stood several hundred hairy men, their bodies were filled with dense hair and were standing there quietly. Good. Fang Yuan nodded and indifferently praised, he was not surprised. These hairy men had the innate nature to follow the people who were better at refining Gu than them. It was not surprising for Feng Tianyu to charge through the 100th barrier and have these followers. Fang Yuan then walked towards Bai Ningbing. Bai Ningbing looked at the great bronze main hall, her gaze flashing with a trace of understanding. It seems this is the Blessed Land's center area. Saying so, she looked at Fang Yuan. HMPH, you best remember your promise. Fang Yuan smiled. You can be at ease. He looked behind Bai Ningbing, seeing the near 100,000 dog beasts that did not seem to have an end. Some were occupying an area, some were having fun with each other and some were running around, making a din. Fang Yuan slightly furrowed his brows. This was the weakness of Bai Ningbing's commanding ability. If it was Zhang San, Wu Gui or Wu Shentong, any one of them could arrange these dogs in a tight formation and have them stand there without moving, like an army. However, this was after all something entirely beyond Bai Ningbing. She had never received any enslavement path training before, and it was already not easy for her to be able to reach this stage. In fact, Bai Ningbing was feeling dizzy now, her every movement was slightly lagging and her soul felt heavy. She felt her body was like a marionette. Controlling so many dog beasts at once was truly demanding a lot out of her. Listen to my arrangements now, be in a defensive formation. No matter how the enemies provoke you, do not take the initiative to attack. Remember it at all costs, remember. Fang Yuan warned. Okay, since it is your arrangement, whether this succeeds or fails has no relation to me. Bai Ningbing coldly replied. Hee, no matter success or failure, I will give you the Yangji Yu. Fang Yuan assured with a smile. HMPH, you better do what you said. 2 light pillars have disappeared, this means King Shin and King Quan inheritance have been taken. Early morning, at the peak of Sancha Mountain, there was a commotion among the Gu masters. This time's inheritation opening is extremely strange, it has been maintaining itself till today, causing the Blessed Land to deteriorate extremely fast. Someone was doubtful. But compared to this, more people were paying attention towards the inheritance. Who are the 2 lucky guys who inherited the inheritance? I think King Shin inheritance should be inherited by Lord Taimu Bai. He has not come out since he entered. King Quan inheritance might have been inherited by Wu Gui. No, it should be our clan's Lord Wu Shentong. HMPH, the way I see it, our demonic path's enslavement master Zhang San also has a chance of winning. The crowd argued for a while before someone finally discovered something strange. Strange, none of the several rank 5 Gu masters that entered the inheritance has come out. What is going on? King Shin and King Quan inheritance were inherited, but why have the other guys not come out? They are being detained in the Blessed Land. This blessed land is already nearing its extinction, not long later the passage will open wide and let all of us enter and exit at will. A resonant voice spread. Lord Xiaomang. Immediately, the Righteous Path Gu masters recognized the identity of the speaker. This Xiaomang has not entered the inheritance after he arrived on Sancha Mountain, what the heck is he planning? Demonic Gu masters felt apprehensive inwardly, Xiaomang's arrival had suppressed their flames. Xiaomang proudly smiled after succeeding in attracting everyone's gaze. Now I will use extreme light Gu to open the passage for us. When he finished speaking, he opened his eyes wide and furiously activated his primeval essence while lifting his fists high. Extreme light Gu, Heaven's will Gu, Empty fist Gu. Killer move, Immemorial light fist. 3 Gu activated at once, causing the whole sky to dim. Everyone looked with shock as light rays formed into an enormous fist the size of a mountain. It appeared abruptly and disappeared just as suddenly, striking at some unknown place. Extreme light Gu might have no attacking power, but when combined with the other 2 Gu, it could form an incomparably intense attack. Bam! A formless membrane was pierced through, the Blessed Land shook and an enormous hole formed into a passage that connected to the outside world. Chapter 390 Mo Wu Tian. Chapter 390, Mo Wu Tian. On Sancha Mountain Peak, only 1 light pillar remained. But a gray plane appeared in front of everyone like a foggy image. It looked like it was separated by a veil, giving off a dream-like atmosphere. How could a plane appear on the mountain peak? This was caused by Xiaomang. He penetrated the Blessed Land and created a loophole. For a moment, everyone was silent, some were dazed, some shocked, and some looked at each other, no one moved. Xiaomang snorted inwardly before slightly signaling with his eyes at somewhere in the crowd. A Gu master immediately ran out of the crowd. Lord Xiaomang's might is unrivaled, even forcibly piercing through the Blessed Land. Like this, we are no longer confined by the restrictions of 3 kings' inheritance and all of us can enter. After he finished shouting this, He walked out of the crowd and with several jumps, entered the hole inside the blessed land. He then activated his GU worms in front of everyone. 1, 2, and 3. The heavenly power's suppression around the hole had weakened, allowing him to activate 3 GU worms. This scene immediately caused the crowd to be restless. Countless people seemed to be startled awake and their breathing turned rough. Being able to use GU meant they had the ability to defend themselves. That is to say, the risk in the blessed land greatly decreased. However, the performance was still not over. This GU master suddenly ran back and with several jumps, got out of the blessed land and returned to Sancha Mountain. Ha ha ha, he laughed loudly and cupped his fists to Xiao Meng. Thank you Lord for your favor. Xiao Meng chuckled. There is no need for thanks, no need. I only felt that everyone should have the rights to compete for the treasures of heaven and earth. It is too much that only a few people hog them. However, how much you can seize will have to depend on yourselves. We are very grateful to Lord Xiao Meng. Lord Xiao Meng is a great person, and his elder brother is the hero Xiao Shan. Truly, they are a pair of dragon and tiger brothers. Looking at all the great rank 5 GU masters at Sancha Mountain, only Lord Xiao Meng cared about his weaker characters. He is a role model of the righteous path, he is so kind. The cheers and flattery of everyone entered Xiao Meng's ears like a tide. The crowd of people charged into the blessed land. A bunch of idiots. Xiao Meng was beaming with a warm and gentle smile, but was disdainfully scoffing inwardly. I came really late compared to Time Yu Bai, Wu Gui and the others. King Quan and King Xin inheritances have been taken, now only King Bao remains. Damn them, I had already pleaded with father and the elders, but they were only concerned about Xiao Shan's illness. HMPH, it would be best if he dies, then I will become young clan leader. HMPH, only after coaxing and pestering was I permitted to come to Sancha Mountain, but it is too late already. How can I compare to those guys who came before me? Only by creating a hole in the blessed land, and causing chaos can I get benefits from within. As for this blessed land, the more people that goes in, the more burden it will have to bear. The heavenly power will get weaker and weaker. So what if you guys obtain the inheritance? I can completely use my GU worms to seize them. King Bao, King Quan and King Qin inheritance, they are all mine. If I can't obtain them, then you guys can also stop thinking of them. Alright, this is more or less it. Fang Yuan nodded with satisfaction as he looked at his surroundings. This bronze main hall was situated on a hill. The hill was not steep and rather had gentle slopes around it. Such a terrain was not easy to defend, but the numbers of the dog beasts slightly made up for it. For over 2 hours, Fang Yuan had been arranging the formation for Bai Ningbing and explaining to her how to deal with any situations that could occur. Boom, right at this time, the whole world shook and some dust fell off from the ceiling of the bronze hall. Not good, that Xiao Meng used extreme light GU to pierce through the blessed land and formed a passage. Large numbers of GU masters are rushing in, killing and competing, the whole situation has completely fallen into chaos. The land spirit's voice resounded. Fang Yuan chuckled without any panic. In his previous life's memories, it had been the same. Xiao Meng's arrival signified the development of this scene. Chaos is good, Xiao Meng wants to profit from this chaos while I need this chaotic situation to help me drag for time. Fang Yuan's dark eyes flashed with eerie light. A rank 5 GU master actually mixed in among this crowd. This young man is really amazing to be able to deceive my senses. I only found something wrong when he made his move. The land spirit suddenly said. Fang Yuan furrowed his brows. This development was beyond his expectation. Who is it? The image in front of him stopped and showed a young man with long black hair that reached up to his waist. He had a pair of deep and dark purple eyes with thick eyebrows which ends were raised up, giving him a crazed disposition like burning flames. He gave off an awe-inspiring demonic aura, disregarding the world, an unbridled tyrannical aura that seemed to want to destroy the world like the descent of an evil dragon. Mo Wutian. Fang Yuan gazed concentrated and recognized the man. This person was a genius of the demonic path who had inherited an ancient inheritance and was a soul path GU master. Whether it was his reputation or power, Fang Yuan was not his match. In his memories, in the Battle of Yitian Mountain, Mo Wutian had beheaded several rank 5 righteous path GU masters. His reputation was fearsome and his demonic flames soared to the skies. At the end, when the demonic path was completely defeated, Mo Wutian broke through the besiegement and stormed out with no one being able to obstruct him. In my previous life, Mo Wutian did not come to Sancha Mountain. It seems the influence of my rebirth has already affected a person of such strength. Just as Fang Yuan was contemplating, inside the image, Mo Wutian seemed to have discovered being watched. He slightly turned around and unexpectedly looked right in Fang Yuan's direction. So it was this way, he muttered in a soft voice, and the corner of his lips formed a sinister smile. This is bad, he seems to have sensed us and is charging towards here. The land spirit immediately gave a warning. Fang Yuan's eyes squinted into a slit. Mo Wutian was actually targeting him with an intense hostility. What are his intentions, and what did he discover? The chaos will only last for some time, and when time you by and the others don't show up, it will start creating doubt. We don't have much time, we need to immediately start with the GU refinement. Land spirit, raise the fog. Feng Tianyu, follow me into the main hall and help me in GU refinement. They were pressed for time. Fang Yuan shouted his commands and brought Feng Tianyu into the bronze hall. As for the hairy men that followed Feng Tianyu, they were left outside to surround and protect the main hall, forming into the final line of defense. Looking at Fang Yuan and Feng Tianyu's departing figures, Bai Ningbing's eyes flashed with a cold light. The fog began to rise and spread, covering the main hall quickly before covering all the dog beasts on the hill. The bronze hall was spacious and majestic, its walls echoed back Fang Yuan and Feng Tianyu's footsteps, making the silence and the emptiness of this place even more conspicuous. At present, the bronze tiles on the main hall were already a scene of emptiness. Most of the materials and GU worms were already consumed in refining GU, with only a few relief sculptures remaining now. Fang Yuan walked to the bronze cauldron with Feng Tianyu and sat cross-legged. This is the final step, the true crucial moment. He took a deep breath, his eyes as clear as water. Feng Tianyu's breathing, however, was rough, showing his excitement. To a refinement path GU master, refining an immortal GU was something they looked forward to the most their whole life. Let's start. Fang Yuan took out the false second aperture GU and directly threw it into the bronze cauldron. The bronze cauldron burned without fire. The thin layer of immortal essence on its bottom started to rapidly decrease and combust. It combusted and formed into a blue smoke that gracefully rose and covered the false second aperture GU. The false GU floated above the bronze cauldron and was turned into dazzling yellow light by this blue smoke. Fang Yuan and Feng Tianyu concentrated all their attention into blending the blue smoke and the yellow light. After an unknown period of time, the blue smoke turned into beads of grass that floated in the air and started growing. The yellow light turned into flowers that fluttered and fell into the grass. It is time. Fang Yuan took out a dagger and cut his artery, bleeding out his own essence blood. This step was extremely important. Only with this step could the refined second aperture GU become Fang Yuan's. Otherwise, it would be an ownerless object that would fly away once it was refined. Large amounts of essence blood infused into smoke. The blue smoke and yellow light immediately let out sizzling sounds and turned into a red cloud like a wave of blood sea. The blood surged and turned into a sphere that floated in the air without spreading. The cloud was continuously evolving. Blood sea gradually calmed down and formed a field. A large expanse of red patty that was scarlet like blood grew from the field. Fang Yuan let out a breath of turbid air at this and promptly used a GU to heal his wounds. Even so, he had lost a huge amounts of blood and his face had turned wan. Wild grass grow wildly, the chi of blood like the sea. 300 years is spring, 500 years is autumn. With unlimited divine opportunity, swim and roam in the wilds, adding in third watch, and another third watch, obtaining 9. 9 is extreme, the refinement is complete. He already knew the recipe inside out, but still recalled it once more now. 300 years is spring, 500 years is autumn, next, it is lifespan GU. Ba Gui, Fang Yuan shouted. The land spirit was already on standby and immediately took out 2 lifespan GU at Fang Yuan's call. These lifespan GU were one large and one small like ginseng or tree roots and gave a crude sense of touch. The small was 300 years lifespan GU. It was like a blue snake that had formed into a round loop. It could increase a GU master's lifespan by 300 years with no side effects. The large one was like a young dragon that wanted to fly to the sky. Bearing its claws, it could raise the lifespan by 500 years and similarly with no side effects. The worth of these 2 GU was self-evident. Feng Tianyu's eyes blossomed with light and his whole body shook at the sight of these 2 GU. Fang Yuan first threw in the 300 years lifespan GU into the cloud. The cloud swallowed the lifespan GU and immediately started raging like boiling water. Right now, the cloud seemed to have become a blue-scaled long snake that attempted to slip out of Fang Yuan's control. Fang Yuan was caught unprepared and almost lost his grasp on this blue snake. When he managed to react, most parts of the blue snake had already slipped out with only its tail remaining in his hands. Fang Yuan tightly gritted his teeth and opened his eyes wide. They were completely red. He poured in all his attention and all his strength to tightly grasp the cloud and not let it escape. Once the cloud escaped, all his previous effort would turn into an illusion. Chapter 391 Demonic Path Alliance Army. Chapter 391 Demonic Path Alliance Army. Seconds passed like days. Eventually, the cloud gradually settled down in the air. Fang Yuan finally had the break he needed to curse the original owner of this blessed land. Such an important point was not mentioned at all in the recipe. All because of him concentrating hard and reacting in time. Together with the help of Feng Tianyu, he was able to calm and stabilize the situation, slowly getting back his control, otherwise he would have failed. As time passed, a mystical aura slowly spread. The cloud completely digested the 300-year lifespan GU, calming down and turning back to the scene of blood-filled red wheat. But at this moment, the red wheat had turned blue-green, as if new crops were growing in spring, almost overcrowding. This was what the recipe described as 300 years as spring. That mysterious GU Immortal must have only developed the recipe but did not actually do it himself, otherwise, he would have mentioned it. Fang Yuan caught a break and thought hard. Next, I have to use the 500-year lifespan GU, but no need to rush. He wiped the sweat off his forehead, calling the land spirit, Bog Wei, show me the image of the poisoned land. Immediately, smoke images appeared in the air, showing a picture. Long Qingtian's corpse laid on the ground, as his surrounding sky and land were dyed a deep green color. This was Long Qingtian's Jade Sky GU poison. This GU originated from the immemorial era. It had a strong poison that Fang Yuan would not dare to touch. At this moment, 2 GU masters appeared in the image. They had rank 3 cultivation. This place is weird, why is it so green? Quickly, see, that corpse, it's Long Qingtian. They entered this place and found Long Qingtian's corpse by accident. Long Qingtian is rank 4 peak stage, a famous demonic head. He was actually killed. Quickly go see, his corpse might have something good. The two were happily running towards Long Qingtian's corpse, driven by greed. They did not realize their bodies were infected by this green light. Courting death, Fang Yuan sneered. As expected, in less than 10 steps, their poison reacted and the two of them turned into green light, dissipating. The Jade Sky GU poison has gotten very deep. This region is almost finished. It has completely rotted. The loophole it forms will be even greater than the one Xiaomang created. Time was precious, every second was important, but Fang Yuan did not move regardless of how anxious he felt. After 5 minutes, with a boom, the blessed land shook and the hall vibrated. The second loophole tunnel was created. The land spirit sighed. This way, the blessed land's speed of destruction doubled. Continue refining GU. Fang Yuan took out the 500-year lifespan GU and threw it into the cloud. The cloud rumbled again, trying to break free of Fang Yuan's control. But Fang Yuan was mentally prepared. He was not caught unaware like last time, and restrained it completely. But quickly, he felt that there was nothing he could do. The cloud's change this time was not only giving off a slippery feeling, but also an arrogant brute force. Like a green snake that had evolved into a flood dragon, about to break free from Fang Yuan's control. Feng Tianyu quickly came to help. The two worked hard to suppress the cloud's transformation. The cloud rumbled many times, about to break free at times, but was eventually suppressed. 5 minutes later, the cloud became clear again, showing a blood field with golden wheat ready for a bountiful harvest. It was the 500 years as autumn scene. Thankfully, he only refined this GU after the poison broke out. If not, when the second loophole formed and the hall shook, this GU refinement would have been interrupted and would not have succeeded. Fang Yuan waited a while more, as the cloud slowly dispersed after maturing. From the water tank size, it shrunk into a new GU, falling down. Fang Yuan held it. It was like a peanut shell, golden and having markings on the surface, that is, scarlet blood traces. The first false second aperture GU could only survive for a week. It was unstable. As for this GU, it could survive for 40 years. At this step, the real second aperture GU had already formed, and was nurturing in the peanut shell. But if it was allowed to develop on its own, not just 1,000 years, but even if given then 1,000 years, it might not turn into the real product. Only by using a strong external force, to eliminate the false and make it real, turning from phantom to solid, can it attain a qualitative change, breaking free from mortality and become an immortal. And this external force is none other than the rank 6 divine travel GU. Next, we have to use an immortal GU to refine an immortal GU. Fang Yuan took deep breaths, regulating his internal flow as he started the most important step of this entire refinement process. At this time, in the outside world, sounds of killing was overwhelming the mountain. This dog is mine. As long as you hand over your GU worms, I will spare you your life. Kill all these Eggmen. These variant humans are actually occupying one spirit spring. What a waste of resources. All sorts of plundering and robbing were happening. As GU masters killed till their eyes turned red, casualties increased greatly. Strange. Why have we not seen Lord Taimu by after so long? Where did our Wu clan Wu Shentong go? Tai clan and Wu clan GU masters felt something amiss. Search. Quickly go search. The heavenly powers restriction is very small now. We can use most of our GU worms. The situation is a mess now. There is killing everywhere. As blood flow into a river, we need to find our clan's experts to suppress the situation. Are there any places left unsearched? The deepest part of this blessed land, there is a thick fog. Just as these people placed their sights on the bronze hall, Mo Wutian had walked to the edge of the fog alone. There is the aura of a immortal GU. His purple eyes was deep and mysterious, with arrogance and wildness hidden within. Using the purple eyes, the fog dissipated at times, as an endless number of dogs appeared in Mo Wutian's vision. He frowned. There was strong defenses, just him alone cannot penetrate this defensive line. He needed external help. His brows eased as Mo Wutian turned around. He moved like lightning, tearing through the sky, moving 100 miles as he landed before Humayur. Humayur was first scared till she turned pale. After recognizing Mo Wutian, she smiled. Young Master Wutian, you came too. This Three Kings inheritance has little meat but many wolves, you might get disappointed. You have advanced to rank 5. Humayur looked at this man, unable to hide her shock. She gulped, trying to alleviate this shock as she forced out a smile. That's great, you have rank 5 strength, you have the ability to gain great rewards from this situation. These green Eggmen have huge numbers, they have built structures and castles, I cannot break through. There is a green egg empress inside. As long as we capture her, we will be able to have endless fortune. He. Mo Wutian looked at the castle, laughing lightly. Back then, King Bao, Wang Badan, had 8 egg empresses and produced numerous Eggmen. King Xin, Wang Xiaoya's inheritance has divulged information GU and undefeated 100 battles GU. King Quan, Wang Ergo, had 2 dog emperors, Yingming and Bahuang. This is the essence of the Three Kings inheritance, but none of them interests me. Humayur's smile froze. To think that young Master Wutian knows the Three Kings inheritance so clearly. Since you have no interests in it, why don't you let me have it? As expected of a woman, you are too short-sighted. Mo Wutian laughed loudly, staring at Humayur's eyes. Let me tell you, the land spirit of this blessed land is not dead. In the deepest area, a deceased GU Immortal's treasure awaits. What? Humayur was stunned. But there is a thick fog there and over 100,000 dogs guard it. To go to the central control hall, it is not enough with just the 2 of us. Mo Wutian laughed deeply. Humayur was a smart woman, she immediately understood Mo Wutian's intentions. Her eyes shone as she laughed curtly. Isn't it easy to recruit people? Humayur was a decisive person, she abandoned the Green Egg Empress, recruiting demonic GU masters alone with Mo Wutian. With her network, and Mo Wutian's cultivation and reputation, a large group of demonic GU masters soon gathered. Adding in the details of the GU Immortal's treasure, the demonic merchant Li Xian, fiery star Bao Tong, rock lizard Li Chang and others all gathered. Mo Wutian returned to the fog, no longer alone, but with a demonic army amounting to thousands of people. They are finally here. Bai Ningbing sitting on the hill stood up slowly. The fog could obscure people's vision, but because of the land spirit's help, Bai Ningbing had a clear vision, and could see the demonic alliance army. Mo Wutian observed for a while before saying, Li Chang, bring 300 people and attack head-on. After a few dozen steps, you will face the steel armor dogs. Fight as you retreat, move towards the left and engage with the Chrysanthemum Akita dogs. Defeat them and you will charge towards the southeast direction. Humayur, bring 500 people, and go left. As you fighting your way through, you will encounter lightning symbol dogs, hedge dogs and corpse dogs, do not mind the losses, just charge towards the north. Bao Tong, go on the right path, bring 800 people. Towards the southwest direction, make a din and shout as you charge, no dogs will obstruct you for 500 steps. After you encounter the lightning symbol dogs, fighting and charge with all you've got, if you cannot break through in 45 minutes, retreat back here. Li Xian, bring 400 people as backup, prepare for mobilization anytime, if I give no commands, take care of the returning troops. Then what about you Mo Wutian? Li Xian's eyes shone with deep meaning as he asked. I will obviously stand guard at the base. Why, you have a problem? Mo Wutian looked at Li Xian lightly with his expression purple eyes. Li Xian felt a chill in his spine. When did this Mo Wutian become so scary? His cultivation surged and his killing intent is overflowing. It seems he received an amazing ancient inheritance. If not, how could he improve so much? I had thought that little beast king could fight with him, but now it seems that he is truly the demonic path's #1 genius. He is simply too fearsome. Li Xian's heart turned cold as he obeyed the command. With such an arrangement, 4 demonic experts brought their troops and charged towards the fog according to Mo Wutian's orders. Chapter 392 Demonic and Righteous Attacking Together. Chapter 392, Demonic and Righteous Attacking Together. It's coming. Bai Ningbing's gaze shone as her expression was nervous, quickly mobilizing the dog group. The still dog army started moving, like a giant millstone. As for these GU masters, they became the green bean and yellow beans. In a short amount of time, they were grinded to paste. More than half were dead, some saw the danger and retreated immediately. The demonic army suffered a huge loss, investing over 1,000 men, but only a few hundred returned. Young Master Wu Tian, did you really see clearly? Li Cheng questioned. I charged in according to your instructions. We did encounter the steel armor dog on the first wave, and we retreated towards the left, but we met with the assault of both lightning symbol dogs and chrysanthema Makita dogs. The numbers were too great, we can't deal with that. After a fruitless slaughter, we could only come back. Bao Tong's temper was even more irascible. I brought 800 people, but did not hear the shouting sounds from the northwest side. But towards the southeast side, I heard people fighting. I brought my troops there and met with the combined attack of the lightning symbol dogs, hedgedogs and corpse dogs. Hu Mei's expression was also ugly. Young Master Wu Tian, I listened to you and prepared to attack. But 800 steps in, I did not see any dog groups. Just when I was confused, dog groups came encircling us. Luckily we managed to turn around and fight our way back, if not my life would have been lost there. Li Xian was expressionless, standing at one side. His group was meant to protect the returning GU masters, and fight the approaching dog groups. Although there were lots of retreating troops, not a single dog came over, causing him to waste his time waiting. Mo Wutian's expression was solemn. After a while, he spoke. I can see the actual scenario much more clearly than all of you. There is someone manipulating these dogs. It is not a fixed formation but an ever-changing one. That is why all of you failed. Everyone was shocked. There is someone controlling them. Who is it? Mo Wutian shook his head. The fog is too dense, I can only see a faint figure, I can't tell the identity of the other party. But there is definitely a mastermind, only a human's intelligence can react so perfectly. But no matter, I have some understanding of the enslavement path. From now you have to attack like this, to break through their encirclement and obtain the GU Immortal treasure. Everyone's face had blood stains as they looked at each other, nodding reluctantly due to Mo Wutian's rank 5 strength as well as the allure of the Immortal treasure. But this time, they still returned in defeat, suffering even greater losses than before. The person behind this has high attainment in enslavement path, I underestimated him. Mo Wutian frowned. He had thought of a perfect plan, using all 4 routes to cooperate, but the other party reacted quickly and found out his intentions. Purposely controlling his troops to intercept the 4 routes before they converged, such movements were at the level of a master. Mo Wutian, you have to give an explanation. We fight with our lives and lost so many people, but we have not even seen the shadow of the treasure. Are you standing here for fun? You are a rank 5 GU master, you should put in some effort too. Bao Tong was furious as he screamed while gripping his injury. Oh, you want an explanation? Hee, then I'll give you a satisfactory answer. Mo Wutian laughed sinisterly, as his purple eyes shone. You. Bao Tong was caught by surprise as he stared at Mo Wutian, unable to move. A moment later, he fell on the ground. Dead. The GU masters went into a commotion. Fiery Star Bao Tong, he was a famous rank 4 Fire Path GU master. Mo Wutian did not even attack, he killed him with a single stare. You want an explanation, I gave you an explanation, are you satisfied? If you are unhappy, you can tell me. Mo Wutian looked at his corpse as he waited for an answer. You're not speaking, it seems you are satisfied. Mo Wutian laughed, looking around. He, Bao Tong is satisfied, what about you guys? Do you want an explanation from me too? It was complete silence all around. Mo Wutian killed people in the blink of an eye. Bao Tong was rank 4 upper stage but he could not even take one hit, dying immediately. The demonic GU masters were scared and shocked, regretting their greed. Why did they follow Mo Wutian? Now that they were roped in, they want to leave. HMPH, too late. Hu Mei and the others lowered their heads, not looking at Mo Wutian's eyes. Mo Wutian's killing technique caused fear in them. They had thought that he had just advanced to rank 5, and might not have true rank 5 prowess, but to think his fighting strength was on par with Wu Gui and the others. How old was he? Number 1 genius of the demonic path, without a doubt. After establishing his dominance, Mo Wutian laughed sinisterly again. Bao Tong's GU are still around, you guys can split up among yourselves, treat it as a compensation from me. As he said so, the GU master's eyes glowed. Li Xian was the first to react. With a swoosh, he moved like a rabbit, pouncing on Bao Tong's corpse and taking his GU. Almost at the same time, Hu Mei and Li Chang reacted and started their plunder as well. The others could only watch, not daring to contest. The three split Bao Tong's fortune among themselves, earning greatly as the grudge in them dissipated, turning into reverence for Mo Wutian. Mo Wutian could kill people with his gaze. That was not surprising, it was a sight-based killer move. This type of killer move directly competed souls against each other. The loser would have their souls scattered, not even given the chance to self-detonate their GU. Mo Wutian was a soul path GU master. The strength of his soul was way above his peers. Dealing with Bao Tong and the others was extremely easy. Cough, cough. Li Xian coughed, saying, since there are beast groups guarding, that area has to be where the central control hall is. The GU Immortal's fortune is most likely there, but how do we get in with all these dogs? He was wise like a ghost. As the person who obtained the most benefits out of Bao Tong's body, he immediately expressed his support towards Mo Wutian. Speaking of the GU Immortal treasure, Hu Mei and Li Chang's attention were brought back to this. Mo Wutian looked at this group of people. They were all injured and exhausted, together with some lingering fear. The morale was at an all-time low. He sighed. Truly a motley crew. It seems I can only recruit more people to have the hopes of breaking in. Spread the news, regardless of righteous or demonic, just say that Time Yu Bai and the others have entered the hall and obtained King Quan inheritance. Those GU masters are blocking us outside the hall and are trying to hoard the treasure. This, Hu Mei hesitated. Mo Wutian laughed coldly. Time is running short. Once the blessed land collapses, we will have nothing left. Without more people, can we break through? Young master is right, Hu Mei quickly replied. Finally stopped. On the mountain slope, Bai Ningbing breathed out a sigh of relief, but lightly frowned. The methods Fang Yuan handed to her were already half used up. After a few more attacks, she would be at her wit's end. Ha ha ha, my tactic at finding a chance in the chaos succeeded. After blowing up this wall, I will get King Bao, Wang Ba Dan's inheritance. Xiao Meng laughed loudly. Right now, he was alone in a hidden cave. Before him, there was a tall and sturdy stone door. As long as it is blown apart, King Bao's final inheritance will be obtained. Bam, 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 light shone as explosions went off. A moment later, Xiao Meng stopped his attacks while panting, staring at the stone door hatefully. The door was intact, there was no traces of any cracks. Light path focuses on speed and purification, the destructive power does not match fire path. King Bao evidently wants to find a fated person who can use fire-type GU to break through. But I do not have such GU. Xiao Meng gritted his teeth, feeling indignant. At this moment, a GU master came to report. Go out, who let you in? King Bao inheritance is mine alone. What did you say? Xiao Meng scolded but suddenly heard his subordinate's report and grabbed his collar, lifting him up. You say there is a GU Immortal treasure hidden in the thick fog, and people are trying to take it down now. Yes, this information has circulated, countless GU masters are gathering. How would I dare to lie to you, second young master? The subordinate quickly replied. HMPH, don't call me second young master. I hate that title, Xiao Meng scolded, looking at this stone door reluctantly, as his gaze turned from hesitation to determination. Wang Ba Dan was only a rank 5 GU master. Although he was called King Bao, he was only the same rank as Xiao Meng. How could his inheritance compare to a GU Immortal treasure? Go, let's go. Xiao Meng led his subordinates and moved quickly. The number of people is increasing. On the slope, Bai Ningbing's frown deepened as there were almost 10,000 people gathered outside the fog. These people had differing cultivation levels, there were even rank 1 and 2s. But there were still GU masters. Gathered together, they formed a tidal wave that could sweep everything in its path. Although she controlled 100,000 dogs, she was a sole person. Outside, countless gazes looked inside with a burning desire. They were all attracted by the Immortal's treasure. As the people created a commotion, Mo Wutian smiled without speaking a word. His motive was achieved: birds die for food and humans die for fortune. This was human heart. Over at the righteous path, they are organizing people and charging into the fog. Hu Mei looked far away, worried. Young Master Wutian, all the demonic GU masters are here already. Are you going to stand up and direct them to form groups? We can't let the righteous path steal the treasure. No worries, no worries. There is such a thick fog, with steel armor dogs acting as steel walls. What can their vanguards do? Mo Wutian laughed coldly, refusing to act. Righteous path was superior to demonic path. They were more united, and more easy to unite, while demonic path members were loners. Although Mo Wutian had rank 5 cultivation, he was still young and this was the first time he was leading. He could not subdue everyone. Old demonic experts like Kong Ritian and Li Feilu would not listen to him easily. Only when they realized that cooperating had benefits, could he use the chance to take over easily. But now, in the hall, the GU refinement had reached the crucial period. After half a day, the golden peanut shell collided with divine travel GU. Bam bam bam, Fang Yuan and Feng Wuyu's vision turned black as thunder roared in their ears. Divine opportunity is unlimited, travel through the lands. Activate E, Fang Yuan screamed, using all his energy to activate divine travel GU. Divine travel GU was an immortal GU, how could he, immortal, activate it easily? But thankfully, the land spirit helped him secretly. As the immortal essence poured out, the divine travel GU turned into light speckles as it entered the golden peanut shell. The qualitative change had begun. Chapter 393 Group Attack. Chapter 393, Group Attack. Xiaomeng looked at the fog in front of him, his gaze deep and solemn. He relied on his rank 5 cultivation to gain the commanding position of the righteous path. He organized many assaults, but returned in great failure, suffering a huge loss. In the fog, countless dogs were hidden, causing every wave of GU masters that entered suffer great injuries. No matter how big the losses, it will not block my path. Immortal treasure, this is an immortal treasure. Xiaomeng's eyes shone with brilliance, shouting excitedly in his heart. Let's go again, organize the next wave of people. Xiaomeng instructed, but this time, little people joined in. The painful lesson was right in front of them. Despite the great benefits, these righteous GU masters started to hesitate. After all, they only had one life. A bunch of cowards. Xiaomeng saw them hesitate and scolded in his heart. Time was running short for him. Other than this immortal treasure, he also had King Bao inheritance to obtain. If we had an enslavement path GU master controlling beast groups, we could use them as cannon fodder, reducing our GU master casualties, and regain our morale. Xiaomeng thought of this point. In such a situation, the importance of an enslavement path GU master was evident. Where is Wu Clan's Wu Shentong? With his help, we would be able to break through the fog and reach the central hall. Xiaomeng asked. But the answer he got was disappointing. Wu Shentong had gone missing. Even Wu clansmen were trying to find him. Xiaomeng looked at the demonic faction, and his heart shook. Not only Wu Shentong, even the demonic paths Wu Gui and Zhang San San are not around. Is the GU master controlling the dogs in the fog one of these 3 people? Xiaomeng continued guessing as he looked towards the grand hall. However, the fog obstructed his vision, causing him to feel even more irritated at the situation. This damn fog, it is so annoying. Too bad Wan Li Shangfeng is not around, otherwise my clan's divine wind will blow this fog away. One clan's GU master exclaimed. If my clan's old clan leader is here, why would we fear these dogs? Tai clan's 4 old-timers snorted. Lord Xiaomeng, we are not making any progress. The demonic faction is looking at us like a joke. What do we do? The righteous path's famous healer Dao Zi came over and asked Xiaomeng. These demonic scoundrels. Xiaomeng looked over at the demonic faction as the irritation in his heart intensified. It seems I have to make a move. He snorted, as a brilliant light appeared in his eyes. All of you, move back. Everyone heard this and retreated tens of steps away. At once, Xiaomeng's surroundings were vacated, emphasizing his existence. Xiaomeng stood on the spot, shutting his eyes as his mind entered his aperture, activating his purple crystal primeval essence. The ebb and flow of the primeval sea became greater. After storing energy for a moment, Xiaomeng's eyes opened. As his primeval sea has turned into a furious tsunami, large amounts of primeval essence entered 3 GU worms. Extreme Light GU, My Will GU, Bright Spear GU, Killer Move, My Glorious Spear. Xiaomeng's body shone with a piercing white light. The intensity of the light was dense, expanding like a mound. Xiaomeng's body was bathed in light, he had an impressive appearance, like a descending Holy Spirit. He raised a finger towards the fog. Immediately, the light around him were manipulated, and shot out ferociously. All of the white sunlight shot out at the same time, forming a 1.8 meters long and 0.6 meters thick spear of light. 60% of the purple crystal essence in his aperture were used up in this one attack. The spear of light was powerful, penetrating the fog and landed on the mound at breakneck speed. Bam! A fierce explosion occurred. The intense light caused everyone's eyes to be shut tightly, as they took a step back subconsciously. Even Mo Wutian's eyes were squinting into a thin line. The explosion caused the ground to rumble, as after the light, air currents started to spread outwards. The air currents turned into a strong wind, blowing in all directions, causing many people to lose their footing. Gu, gu. In the hall, Fang Yuan and Feng Tianyu, who were refining Gu, were interrupted and both vomited a mouthful of blood. Bai Ningbing's face was pale, her ears buzzing from the aftermath of the attack. This is the strength of a rank 5 Gu master. Luckily, such a killer move did not hit me directly. If it landed here, my defensive Gu would not even last for a second. Bai Ningbing unavoidably felt great shock. The killer move of a rank 5 Gu master, it was not something the current her could block. As the whiteness faded from her eyes, she could see that at the location where the light spear landed, thousands of dogs were vaporized. The mound had turned into a crater. Bai Ningbing drew in a breath of cold air. With such might, just a few more hits and the dog formation would be ruined. Her confidence dropped again, but Fang Yuan had instructed her beforehand what she should do in the event she was hit with such a great move. As Bai Ningbing manipulated, large numbers of dogs hurried to the crater, as her defenses were raised once again. Gasped so many dogs. Xiao Meng's heart was heavy, and the righteous and demonic Gu masters gasped sharply too. When there was a fog earlier, they could not see clearly, but now that the fog was gone, everyone's vision was clear. Over 90,000 dogs, densely packed on the mound, forming an iron bucket defense. Lightning symbol dog, chrysanthemum Akita dog, hedge dog, steel armor dog, yin dog, some people counted, each dog group had over 5,000 and more. So many dog kings. Someone shouted. No matter how many dogs there were, they could not hide the dog kings due to their disposition. Other than the chrysanthemum Akita dogs who were unique, these dog kings were all seated, like a flame in the darkness, extremely eye-catching. These dogs and dog kings are not that much of a threat. But there are so many heavy Tai, Green Hua, Smoke Song, Light Hang and Star Hang, these 5 great mountain dogs. Some Gu masters with good vision turned pale. The outer defense was made up of lighting symbol dogs, chrysanthemum Akita dogs, and other ordinary dogs. The inner circle of defense was made up of the 5 great mountain dogs. As for the entrance of the hall, the final line of defense, there were several hundred hairy men. The entire formation was tight and secure, yet not rigid, they all had mobility and flexibility. What an iron formation! Mo Wutian's purple eyes shone with light as he felt the situation getting more troublesome. Even more people directed their gaze to the bronze hall. The grand yet modest hall had inscriptions and intrinsic designs, giving off an ancient atmosphere. That is the bronze hall that contains the immortal treasure. As long as we get past the dogs, we will reach the grand hall. Immortal treasure, I wonder what mind-blowing riches awaits us. Everyone's gaze were heated, the goal was in front of them, it made their greed overflow. He, it is time. Mo Wutian looked around, sensing the change in the atmosphere. Greed was like fire burning in everyone's hearts. But the great dog army deterred them. Everyone knew that with their own strength, they would never succeed. This was the basis for cooperation. Lord Xiaomeng, let's talk about cooperation. Mo Wutian's body was like a black smoke phantom, taking several steps and arriving before Xiaomeng. Xiaomeng snorted. When he saw the overwhelming dog army, he thought of cooperation. But he was afraid of getting rejected by Mo Wutian and also worried about his own reputation if he approached the demonic faction for cooperation as a righteous rank 5 cultivator. Right now, Mo Wutian approached him personally, it was music to his ears. HMPH. Xiaomeng snorted, his attitude was neither cold nor hot, as he made eye contact with Mo Wutian. Mo Wutian immediately understood Xiaomeng's intentions. He was extremely disdainful towards such hypocrisy, but he said, then in 15 minutes, we will attack from the front and back together. Xiaomeng nodded, turning around, no longer looking at him. Mo Wutian sneered, walking back and telling his people, I just approached Xiaomeng and agitated him, to have a competition with him. Next, we will split into 2, attacking together from 2 sides. We will compete to see who gets to the bronze hall first, whether the righteous faction or us demonic faction wins. Xiao Meng announced at the other side. Demonic scoundrels are greedy and unscrupulous, finding me to cooperate, obviously I rejected them. How can I work with these scum? 15 minutes later, they will attack, we will take the chance and attack as they endure some of the pressure for us. Ha ha ha. Young Master Wu Tian rules. Defeat these righteous hypocrites. Demonic GU masters were riled up as they shouted. Lord Xiaomang is wise. Let those demonic scoundrels attract the enemy for us. The righteous GU masters were spirited. Kill. 15 minutes later, the attack began. Righteous and demonic were far away, attacking from two directions. Bai Ningbing was hidden at some place, relying on her shared vision with the land spirit, using its divine consciousness to scan the battlefield. Tens of thousands of dogs barked and bared their paws as they charged ahead. At once, blood flowed and broken limbs flew. All sorts of GU worms competed, like the dance of fire and ice, lightning exploded and soil was overturned, green vines grew endlessly. Kill. Yi Chong charged ahead, brave and fearless. His body was covered in blue fish scales, the wind blew his fiery red hair into the air. All around him, there was a light blue spiral wave, together with the black fins that grew on his back, he seemed to have become a fearsome shark in the sea. None of the dogs could block him. Immortal treasure. If I can get it and succeed in my mission, I would definitely be able to change my surname to Shang when I return to the clan. Yi Huo's gaze was determined as he turned into the god of fire, attacking even more fiercely than Yi Chong. Everywhere he went, there was blazing flames and crying dogs. Kong Ritian laughed heartily, turning into a rain of petals. Li Xian laughed coldly, while people were not noticing, he used his rank 5 GU and concealed his body, secretly moving ahead. Let's work together, with me healing there is no worry. Dao Zi shouted as many GU masters gathered over. People were moving, and in this great battle, Yan Jun moved slowly and steadily, like a casual traveler. A strong and brave dog king pounced at him. Yan Hun's expression was unchanging as he turned into a hollow shadow. The dog king jumped over and went straight through the shadow. The shadow flickered, turning back into Yan Jun's flesh body. The dog king behind him had engaged the GU masters behind already. The GU masters displayed all their abilities, battling with the dog group. The scene was as chaotic as it could be, and Bai Ningbing could barely cope facing such a huge number of opponents, starting to fluster. Chapter 394 Success at Long Last. Chapter 394 Success at Long Last. Kill, charge, damn, why are there so many dogs? Murderous yells, shouts, miserable howls, swearing and dog howls combined to form into a huge clamor that seemed to shake the world. The battle had not even begun for 5 minutes, blood had formed into a river and there were corpses everywhere. Bai Ningbing hid at some secret place and used all her strength to mobile the dog groups. With the help of the land spirit, she was able to gradually stabilize the situation. Lightning symbol dog, chrysanthemum Akita dog and other common dog beasts suffered the most casualties. GU masters had charged halfway through the dog beasts and ran into the formation of the 5 great mountain dogs, having great casualties. Heavy Tai, Green Hua, Smoke Song, Light Hang and Star Hang, these 5 great dogs were very powerful and their circular formation was very reliable. They were like a huge dam that blocked these GU masters that were charging like a tide. At this stage, both righteous and demonic factions suffered heavy casualties. Big brother, hold on. Meng Tu grabbed Zhao Huang's arm. Zhao Huang had suffered heavy injuries from where blood flowed out without stopping. Zhao Huang borrowed Meng Tu's strength to barely move along with the majority. Right now, they could not retreat. They could not even stop to rest. If they left the troops, the dog beasts would submerge their tiny bodies. Brother, we have made a huge loss this time. We accepted Shang clan's assignment to get Fang Zheng's head. To think we would encounter an immortal treasure, sigh, we gave into our desire for material benefits and thus fell into such desperate straits. Zhao Huang heaved a sigh. These two were rank 3 peak stage GU masters, famous assassin group of demonic path. They had even succeeded in assassinating rank 4 GU master Xiao Fulu. They thought of joining Shang clan and thus were prepared to secretly handle Fang Yuan. But the whole way, they did not find any good opportunity. After charging into the blessed land, they encountered an immortal treasure, and followed with the majority. The result, they sent themselves into danger. In this chaotic battle, only rank 5 experts could move unhindered. Rank 4 peak stage could fight valiantly. Rank 4 upper stage had to move with the crowd. Those rank 1 and 2 GU masters made up the most of the casualties. Rank 3 GU masters also had to rely on luck to survive. But even so, GU masters still charged forward endlessly. The illusionary immortal treasure ignited their most crazed fanatical desires. They were charging recklessly, all delusional about obtaining the immortal treasure and attaining success in life, becoming an expert. Only for a certain group of people, at the time of their deaths, they calmed down and regretted endlessly. Unfortunately, it was too late. These people have gone mad, forgetting their own life or death at the enticement of the immortal treasure. Tai Ruo Nan slowed down her footsteps, she was shocked by the state of the battlefield. Tai clan's 4 old-timers were surrounding her in a protective formation. The way I see it, this probably has to do with that Mo Wutian. The head of the Tai clan's 4 old-timers suddenly said in a soft voice. You are saying, Tai Ruo Nan's gaze flashed. Far away, Mo Wutian was moving forward in the lead, laughing crazily with his purple deep eyes flashing with dazzling light. He was a soul path GU master and had secretly used his GU to make everyone more fanatical. Demonic path members should all be put to death. Tai Ruo Nan snorted, the killing intent in her heart surging up. Young master, Mo Wutian is a rank 5 expert, he is not someone we will be able to fight easily. We need to deal with urgent matters first, our objective is not him. One of the Tai clan's 4 old-timers persuaded. Tai Ruo Nan pursed her lips and heavily nodded her head, her gaze firm as iron. Right, the most important matter right now is still Little Beast King Fang Zheng. Ha ha ha, I hadn't thought the enslavement path GU master in the dark would only amount to this. Mo Wutian laughed wildly, the fierce wind blowing in the battlefield blew his black hair and his demonic flames danced rampantly. The united charge of righteous and demonic GU masters was going on much better than he expected. Bai Ningbing was after all a newbie, earlier, she had Fang Yuan's formations and instructions to follow. But the current situation had become more complex with a lot more new changes, it was a lot more than she could take and this in turn were flaws that were clear to GU masters at the level of Mo Wutian. Mo Wutian's eyes flashed repeatedly with eerie light, at the same time as charging forward, he was doing multiple tasks. He constantly controlled his GU to attack the dog beasts and also to influence people's minds and create a fanatical atmosphere, at the same time, he was also using his GU to scout the battlefield. Enslavement path GU masters always had powerful offense and could battle many opponents with just the strength of one person. But everything in this world was balanced. Enslavement path had a clear disadvantage, besides the huge consumption of resources they needed, their individual strength was weak and were easy to kill. Mo Wutian was searching for Bai Ningbing's position, as long as he killed Bai Ningbing, the dog-beast formation would fall apart and a large majority of them would even scatter without a fight. Found you. Mo Wutian's gaze suddenly concentrated as he discovered the hiding place of Bai Ningbing. He, give me your life. He laughed and flung his sleeve, his figure turning into a ball of purple demonic fog. The demonic fog moved through the battlefield at an astonishing speed and in just a few breaths' time was only 1,000 steps away from Bai Ningbing. Not good. Bai Ningbing discovered the charging fog and her heart sank. Mo Wutian was a rank 5 GU master while Bai Ningbing was only at rank 4, by just this she would be hard-pressed to fight him, let alone now when she was doing multiple tasks and controlling the dog beasts. Fortunately, I also have my trump cards. Bai Ningbing was startled but not panicked as she willed, go bite him, Ba Huang. A hill-sized enormous dog emperor heard the command and with one leap, flew over 100 feet and smashed into Mo Wutian. Woof! Ba Huang barked loudly, its bark was like a bolt from the blue, suppressing the whole battlefield and turning it silent. Following the bark, the dog beasts flared up with high morale, the casualties among the GU masters became more intense. Dog Emperor. Its physique was majestic with its whole body covered with yellow sleek fur. It had a head like that of a lion with thick mane around its neck that was dazzling like a sun. This was an emperor among the beasts and was not something that could be looked down upon. Once it used the wild GU on it, it could contend against rank 5 GU masters. Damn it! Mo Wutian cursed when he was stopped by Ba Huang. Bai Ningbing let out a breath of relief, but right at this time, a dazzling silver light shot through the battlefield and appeared in front of her instantly. He, Demonic Path Jr., take a good look at me. The silver light turned into a human figure, rank 5 Righteous Path expert Xiao Meng. Ying Ming. Bai Ningbing withstood the pressure and commanded in her mind, sending out the second dog emperor. This second dog emperor was the size of a normal dog beast. There were gorgeous patterns on its snowy white skin like pink cherry blossoms. Withstanding Xiao Meng's intense pressure, the wild GU on the dog emperor activated and created clouds below Ying Ming's feet, allowing it to fly. Just a mere wild dog it is actually a dog emperor. Xiaomeng scoffed, but after few exchanges of lightning-fast attacks and defending, he withdrew his contempt and fought cautiously. Bai Ningbing's expression was gloomy. Although the two rank 5 experts were blocked, this situation was only temporary. Humans were the spirit of all living beings, humans' wisdom was superior to beasts. Sooner or later, Mo Wutian and Xiaomeng would understand the dog emperors, trump cards, and then could make their moves with ease, even bypassing them to directly kill Bai Ningbing. Bai Ningbing looked around the battlefield. The other GU masters were still in the middle of the battlefield fighting and charging forward. They were temporarily of no threat. Bai Ningbing let out a breath of relief and turned her gaze towards the bronze hall. There is not much time. Her blue eyes narrowed, letting out a clear and cold radiance. Inside the bronze hall, Fang Yuan took large mouthfuls of air, gasping heavily. Meanwhile, Feng Tianyu was already lying on the ground, unconscious. Blood flowed out of Fang Yuan's 7 orifices, but he did not care. A pair of bright eyes stared at front. A GU was letting out brilliant light as it floated in the air. It did not have a concrete shape. Occasionally, it was like a colorful cloud, and occasionally it was like a whirlpool of light. Success. Fang Yuan was filled with joy. He had already succeeded in refining divine travel GU. Now only one step remained and he could obtain second aperture GU. You succeeded, you really succeeded. The land spirit appeared beside Fang Yuan. It was extremely weak, but its eyes glowed with light, full of happiness at the success. You are worthy of being a future GU immortal. You could really refine divine travel GU, amazing. It was indeed a correct choice to entrust this task to you. Now, the most difficult step has passed. It is smooth sailing ahead. Next, you need to use third watch GU and it will be a success without the least bit of difficulty. The land spirit heaved a long sigh, its sigh full of emotions. Thousands of years of effort has finally succeeded today. The recipe indeed works. I am truly happy. But such a pity that I can't see the second aperture GU in the end. After it finished speaking, the land spirit Bogwei's body gradually turned fainter and fainter till it completely disappeared. It was dead. The immortal essence in the bronze cauldron was almost finished with only a thin trace remaining. The blessed land had already collapsed for the most part and was at the brink of extinction. The aged Bogwei had been helping Fang Yuan in refining GU and also helping Bai Ningbing to guard. It finally could not endure such pressure and completely withered away. But compared to previous life where it had died a death of desperation under many GU masters' attacks, it was much more blessed during this life and could even be said to have had a proper death. Bogwei's death meant the immortal essence could not be used anymore. However, Fang Yuan was not nervous. For the next final step, the immortal essence could be replaced with large amounts of primeval stones. Even if Bogwei was alive, that trace of immortal essence in the bronze cauldron was required to support the operation of the blessed land and simply could not be used to refine GU. The difficulty of this immortal GU refinement exceeds spring-autumn cicada. Just now, that huge shock to the main hall almost caused all the efforts to be a waste, and in case the GU refinement had failed, with just my mortal body, I will definitely die from the backlash without even having time to activate spring-autumn cicada. Moreover, this most crucial step had an extreme demand on mind and a mortal simply cannot endure it. Fortunately, I chose to enslave Feng Tianyu just to be safe, otherwise this step could never have been completed. In his previous life, Fang Yuan was already a GU immortal when he refined spring-autumn cicada. Now this time, he was refining immortal GU with the qualifications of immortal and he should not have had any chance of success. However, first, the mysterious GU immortal had racked his brain and used up all his life to research and perfect this recipe. Second, the recipe used the immortal GU divine travel which greatly reduced the absurd difficulty. And finally, it was not done by Fang Yuan alone, he had the help of land spirit and also refinement path Grand Master Feng Tianyu. All these helped Fang Yuan to complete the most difficult and dangerous step. Next I have to use third watch GU, this is much more simple. Right, I wonder how the situation outside is. Fang Yuan calmed his mind and then started hearing the shouts and commotion outside the main hall. Fang Yuan, be careful. Someone broke through the dog formation, a rank 4 GU master is coming towards you. Right at this time, Bai Ningbing's warning arrived. Fang Yuan's expression was heavy as he slowly stood up. Chapter 395 Bai Ningbing. Chapter 395, Bai Ningbing. Currently, the land spirit was dead and Fang Yuan was unable to see the scene outside the hall. However, with his previous life memories, he could guess one or two things without looking at the situation. There are only 2 rank 5 experts in the Blessed Land, Xiaomeng and Mo Wutian, they will be held back by the two dog emperors for some time. There are a lot of rank 4 GU masters, but at this time, there is only one who can charge to this place. That is the young clan leader of Yan clan, Yan Jun. He obtained the ancient phantom path inheritance and is specialized in hiding and attacking. It should not be a problem for him to charge through the dog beast formation. Fang Yuan pondered, it was the truth as well. Phantom path had once flourished in the ancient times, its concept was to be footloose and carefree, invincibility through dodging. As long as one could evade every attack, that was a form of invincibility. In Fang Yuan's previous life, Phantom Path Yan Jun had shown great brilliance at the Battle of Yitian Mountain, challenging the demonic path GU masters and causing them to suffer severe losses. That was until Mo Wutian showed up and beat him into retreating. This blessed land doesn't have strong defense. The central area is so important, but there is only a bronze hall built there. Although it can be used to store things, its defense is really thin. The whole thing is impressive looking but useless. If it was like the Immortal blessed land with Danghun Mountain as defense, it would simply be like a heavenly moat and even GU Immortals would have a headache facing it. Even my own blessed land that had the structure of a blood sea was much better than this hall. Fang Yuan inwardly felt resentment. He walked over to Feng Tianyu and kicked him awake. Get up, Fang Yuan said in a cold voice. Feng Tianyu had worked hard and made great contributions. If it were not for him bearing most of the pressure, Fang Yuan might not have succeeded in refining to this stage. Moss Master, he woke up with bloodshot eyes, his hair was scraggy like wheat and his face was pale white, his body was swaying as he greeted Fang Yuan. Go out of the main hall and block the rank 4 Phantom Path GU Master. Even if you have to sacrifice your life. Fang Yuan ruthlessly commanded. Yes, subordinate will do his best. Feng Tianyu bit his lips and walked out. His primeval essence was almost completely consumed and he did not have enough fighting strength left. Moreover, as a refinement path Grand Master, he was not specialized in intense battle. It was almost guaranteed that he would not return alive from this mission. However, the current Fang Yuan still needed to continue with the final step. He did not have any other force remaining, thus he could only send Feng Tianyu. Second Aperture GU is the top priority. Sacrificing a refinement path Grand Master for it is nothing much. Fang Yuan sat down in a cross-legged position and looked at the continuously changing gorgeous light in the air. At this step, Second Aperture GU was already mostly completely and was interchanging between real and surreal, form and formless. It was unable to be moved and also could only exist for 6 hours. After 6 hours, if the refinement has still not been carried out, the light would disappear and all the previous effort would be wasted. There is no turning back now. As long as I finish this final step, I will obtain Second Aperture GU. It is just that. Fang Yuan subconsciously stroked his abdomen with a grave expression. In the Blessed Land, time flew 3 times faster than the outside world. Spring-autumn cicada was recovering extremely fast and bringing great pressure to the aperture. Even though Fang Yuan's aperture was rank 4 upper stage, it could not endure this pressure and there were indications of tiny cracks on the aperture surface. Next, he would have to still use 2/3 watch GU, and with the effects overlaid, the time flow would be 9 times faster. At that time, could his aperture endure the pressure? Fang Yuan was not someone who would recklessly take risks and had already meticulously planned before beginning the GU refinement. He had a huge chance of winning this gamble. As long as he got the second aperture and promptly left the Blessed Land, he would be able to have few months of respite. He naturally had some backup plans at that time. Third watch GU, go. He calmed down his mind and gathered his concentration to begin the final step. Under the effect of third watch GU, that light ball immediately started changing rapidly. The light rays were dazzling and gave off a mysterious aura that was hard to describe in words. Divine Travel GU broadens the space and third watch GU condenses the time. This is the using the laws of both space and time. This truly is the way of GU passed down from the immemorial era. Genuine knowledge comes from practice and Fang Yuan gained some comprehension from this. Time flew, the first third watch GU's effect was nearing its end. The light ball faintly solidified, giving off the shape of the final product. The shouts from outside the main hall became louder, but whether it were Mo Wutian, Xiaomeng, or Yan Jun and so on, no one had yet to charge inside. Good, next it is the second third watch GU. Looking at the refinement finally about to succeed, even Fang Yuan started feeling excited. However, right at this time, Bai Ningbing's voice came. Fang Yuan, be careful. Tai Ruonan has broken the defense line and is coming towards you. Fang Yuan's expression changed. At this moment, his whole attention was concentrated on the refinement and he could not pull out from it. How could he face the enemy? With Feng Tianyu already being sent out, he did not have any defensive force. What to do? Bai Ningbing, what the hell are you doing? Are you still not going to come to guard me? I can't move now. If I die, you will also die under the powers of poison Bao Jiyu. Fang Yuan transmitted his furious voice. He was extremely helpless and could only call Bai Ningbing over. Without Bai Ningbing to take control, the dog groups outside would definitely be a group of leaderless army and there would be huge chaos. And soon, the group of heroes could kill their way through. However, Fang Yuan could not care about it. Right now, he was like a fish on the chopping board, anyone could slaughter him with him not having even a bit of retaliation power. If someone did not protect him, he would be easily killed by Tai Ruonan. Fortunately, the GU refinement was already at its final stage and now only the third watch GU had to be used. Fang Yuan only hoped for more time. As long as he made every second count and finished the refinement, with the many rank 4 and rank 5 movement GU on him, he could break out of the siege and escape alive. As for Bai Ningbing, she is suitable to block the incoming enemies, her use would be maximized. As for what her ending would be, it was not something Fang Yuan could consider at the moment. Bam! The hall's great door was pushed open violently. Tai Ruonan walked inside and saw the scene in the hall. She was first dazed before immediately reacting with both shock and happiness. Little Beast King, today is the day I shall take your head. She went in for the kill before she even finished speaking. With a wave of her hand, countless golden needles flew out. Bai Ningbing, the concentrated aura of death came pouncing on him and Fang Yuan could not help shouting again. Whoosh, cold wind blew and ice started spreading, forming into an ice wall that blocked all the golden needles. Next moment, Bai Ningbing also appeared at the entrance of the main hall. However, her state was clearly not good, she was covered in blood and injuries filled her body. The most severe injury was on her back, a cut that spread from her shoulder to her sacrum, it was so deep that even her bones could be seen. There were bits of green leaves sticking on her clothes, her silver hair was scorched, and her whole left arm was purple, she was clearly poisoned. Quick, block her, Fang Yuan shouted, I only need a little time. You still have the leisure to say such nonsense, just make the most of this time to refine the GU. Bai Ningbing gritted her teeth and cursed before starting to fight Tai Ruonan. Tai Ruonan laughed coldly, her golden needles flew like lightning with extremely terrifying offensive power. Bai Ningbing clenched her teeth, she had suffered heavy injuries and did not even have 10% of her original strength, she soon fell into disadvantage. Several moves later, Bai Ningbing's injuries intensified, her ankle sprained and her body wavered, Tai Ruonan keenly grabbed this chance to move in for a fierce attack. Bai Ningbing was again inflicted with heavy injuries and fell down to the ground. I shall kill you first. An imprint that was on Tai Ruonan's forehead flashed and turned into solid, forming a golden flying dagger that shot out fiercely. Whoosh! The golden flying dagger cut through the air towards Bai Ningbing's neck, but it missed by just a hairline gap and pierced into the bronze tile. Bai Ningbing rolled quickly and evaded the fatal attack, shouting, how long do you still need? Fang Yuan's heart was thumping loudly as he gritted his teeth and shouted, just a little bit, hold on even if you die. If I die, you won't be able to live either, Bai Ningbing cursed but was interrupted by Tai Ruonan's attack. Tai Ruonan's offense came in wave after wave, Bai Ningbing was sent into retreat bit by bit and could only make dodging his priority, struggling in between the thin line of life and death. Several more moves later, Bai Ningbing gasped roughly, I can't continue. Fang Yuan, I am going to self-destruct. Your aptitude has already returned to 100%. Fang Yuan was startled. What do you think? Bai Ningbing cursed. Fang Yuan narrowed his eyes, Bai Ningbing changing back into northern dark soul ice physique was a definite thing. But he had not expected it to be this quick. According to his calculation, despite the time flowing 3 times faster in the Blessed Land, it should have only been after several more months. Fang Yuan was in a critical juncture of the refinement process and was unable to distract his mind to consider too much. The self-destruction of a 10 extreme physique possessed extreme might and even rank 5 GU masters would have to take evasive actions. Once Bai Ningbing self-destructed, there would be an extreme change in the whole battle situation. Try to hold on, unless you can't control it anymore, don't, Fang Yuan shouted. He was refining the GU with his back facing the entrance and could not see the concrete situation of the fight between Tai Ruonan and Bai Ningbing. The response he received, however, was Bai Ningbing's deep sigh. It's too late. The next moment, Fang Yuan felt the cold aura spread everywhere in the main hall and the temperature decreased rapidly. Crack, there were continuous sounds of ice forming. What Gu is this? Tai Ruo Nan's cry of surprise also reached Fang Yuan's ears. Fang Yuan turned his head with difficulty to look and saw the main hall already becoming a world of ice and snow. Bai Ningbing was floating high up in the air, her whole body turning into ice crystal, similar to the situation when she had self-destructed back at Qingmao Mountain. The cold wind blustered and glaciers rose, crushing towards Tai Ruo Nan with vast and majestic force. Tai Ruo Nan had a fierce expression as she quickly retreated towards outside. However, the door of the main hall was already condensed into ice. She was like a turtle trapped in a jar and was surrounded by the icy layers. Is this the legendary northern dark ice soul physique? Tai Ruo Nan cried out in surprise. But it was already too late, she was sealed within the ice like an insect in an amber. The ice, however, did not stop spreading and was spreading towards Fang Yuan. Bai Ningbing! Bai Ningbing! Fang Yuan worriedly shouted, but there was no response from Bai Ningbing. Her body had almost become one with ice and her whole face had started turning indistinct. Her crystal-like eyes no longer shone and had thoroughly dimmed. Damn it! Fang Yuan's brain was hurting from the anxiety, the ice had already reached his body, he could only use Yang Jiyu. Yang Jiyu flew out and landed on Bai Ningbing's body. Immediately Yang aura and the icy coldness formed into a whirlpool of primeval essence. The scene back at Qingmao Mountain many years ago appeared once again. Ice stopped spreading, but this distraction almost caused the Jiyu refinement to fail. Fang Yuan's heart thumped loudly in shock and he immediately concentrated all his attention without being concerned about the situation behind him. Under his efforts and control, the light clouds finally condensed into second aperture Jiyu. Immortal Jiyu, I finally succeeded. Right now, Fang Yuan's heart was exploding with joy. All his efforts and all the risks he took had created a very satisfactory outcome. Pew! Right at this time, a sharp ice blade pierced through Fang Yuan's heart, piercing from behind him and coming out of his chest. Fang Yuan's pupils shrunk to needle size and he looked behind with difficulty. Bai Ningbing, you, Fang Yuan, to think there would be a day where you fall into a trap. Tai Ruo Nan slowly walked over, her gaze filled with hatred. Chapter 396 Bai Ningbing. Chapter 396, Bai Ningbing. The bronze hall was deathly silent. Time seemed to have frozen as the atmosphere became very heavy. Fang Yuan was sitting cross-legged on the ground with the rank 6 second aperture Gu floating in front of him. Immortal Gu refinement had succeeded, but Fang Yuan's attention was not at this immortal Gu. He turned his head with difficulty and gazed at Bai Ningbing, his eyes revealing his deep doubts. Bai Ningbing, who had already recovered his male body, was holding an ice blade and was expressionlessly standing behind him. Tai Ruo Nan slowly walked over and fixed her gaze at Fang Yuan, her expression showing both grief and joy. Fang Yuan, you had never in your wildest imagination expect this day to occur, right? Fang Yuan seemed like he did not hear anything and kept on looking at Bai Ningbing. Bai Ningbing looked at Fang Yuan. With the recovery of his male body, his height had increased, he was wearing a snow-white robe, his silver hair was floating in the air and his eyes shone with deep coldness. He was like a glacier, extremely cold. You didn't expect it, right? That you would finally be defeated by me. Bai Ningbing indifferently smiled while looking at Fang Yuan. Since my resurrection back on Qingmao Mountain, I had been pondering on how to recover my male body. In the days spent with you, I was firmly controlled by you as a chess piece that could be moved at your will. You are not the strongest enemy in my life, but I have to admit that you are absolutely the most terrifying one. Fang Yuan, you are someone with innate talent for scheming, and with your vicious methods, you are a very formidable person. But I, Bai Ningbing, am also not an ordinary character. How could I become someone's subordinate? HMPH. The more you controlled me and the more you exploited me, the more I thought of ways to escape, to make a comeback and counterattack. But the Yang Jiyu was with you and you could cause it to self-destruct with just a thought. Thus, I did not act recklessly but racked my brains to think of countermeasures until one day, I got a superb inspiration and thought of a way. Actually, the scene of you voluntarily hand over the Gu had already happened once on Qingmao Mountain. Hehe, right, that is to repeat the scene back on Qingmao Mountain. The time of my self-destruction will be the time you use the Yang Gu. With this as the start, I began to plot secretly. The corner of Bai Ningbing's lips slowly spread into a smile. I would self-destruct, but it would naturally not be actual self-destruction since there was a chance you might not use Yang Gu. So, I chose Ice Crystal Gu. Fang Yuan's expression was dim as water. Back at Shang Clan City, Bai Ningbing chose Ice Path. Among the ice path, there were 3 transformation type GU, Frost Demon GU, Snow Fairy GU and Ice Crystal GU. Wei Yong had strongly recommended Bai Ningbing to choose Snow Fairy GU. Snow Fairy GU was suitable for female GU masters while Ice Crystal GU was suitable for males. Bai Ningbing, however, chose Ice Crystal GU as a female, which had caused Wei Yong to feel great regret. Hee, you finally get it. Bai Ningbing laughed. That's right, I originally chose Ice Crystal GU not because I was peeved but because Snow Fairy GU changed the body to a snow fairy with clear appearance that could not be hidden. However, if I turn into Ice Crystal and use Ice Explosion GU with it, it could form a majestic scene that is extremely similar to the self-destruction of Northern Dark Ice Soul physique. You have seen it just now, didn't it deceive you? HMPH, if I was not concentrating on refining GU, I would definitely discover the peculiarity. How could you have succeeded so easily then? Fang Yuan scoffed. Bai Ningbing, however, nodded her head with a serious expression. Right. You are very meticulous, observing everything to the finest details. When I thought of this method, I also felt it would be strange and there would be a great chance of failure. In fact, there was a change in circumstances that made me almost give up this plan. The change Bai Ningbing spoke of was none other than Poison Bao GU. A great man knows when to yield and when not. My objective was to rely on the Poison Bao to accomplish my goal. So what if I would be used for some time? Bai Ningbing's eyes turned vague as he recalled. However, the developments after that made me realize that Poison Bao GU was not reliable. The Poison Bao between you and Shang Yazi, despite there being a very ingenious flaw, I felt that you were too confident. And I had also secretly investigated the contract with Bai Clan. The rumors however were still leaked out, making me feel even more uncertain. One thing that I have learned about you is that you make the best preparations for everything, calculating even the worst outcomes. Thus, I could not help but consider this situation. What if you were not restricted by Poison Bao GU, what would I do then? I knew that if that was the case, I had already gotten into a desperate situation. I was restricted by the Poison Bao while you were not. I would become your chess piece which you could use or kill with no way for me to retaliate. Just relying on my own power, I would never be able to escape this predicament, but there was one person who could help me at Shang Clan City. Speaking of this person, I still need to thank you for the introduction. Bai Ningbing smiled mockingly. He thought of the first meeting with Dr. Su Shou. It was during the banquet organized by Shang Yanfei. As thanks to Fang and Bai for escorting Shang Shenxi to Shang Clan City, Shang Yanfei invited Dr. Su Shou to treat Fang Yuan's disfigured face. And to make Bai Ningbing give up, Fang Yuan intentionally asked her to go together. After Bai Ningbing met Dr. Su Shou with her real appearance, Dr. Su Shou's attitude immediately changed into extreme warmth and compassion. Dr. Su Shou was one of the 4 great doctors of Southern Border and had a peculiarity of being attracted to appearance. She was extremely fond of handsome men and beautiful women. As long as their appearance was extraordinary, she would give treatment for free. If the appearance was ugly, she would loathe them and would not treat them even if they gave more money. Bai Ningbing asked her about the transformation of yin and yang, and with the reply he got, he was even more aware of how important the Yang Jiyu in Fang Yuan's possession was. But at the same time, Bai Ningbing also got to know Dr. Su Shou. Before leaving, Dr. Su Shou had made a serious promise that no matter what problems he faced, he could go find her. Cough cough. Fang Yuan coughed out a mouthful of blood. The ice blade had pierced through his heart, but with the help of healing Jiyu, he was able to hang on to life. However, the chilly aura of the ice blade was slowing down the speed of his blood flow, and the numbness the cold brought was spreading to his whole body. Right now, however, these injuries were minor details. The person you are speaking, is it Dr. Su Shou? He, you are Fang Yuan indeed, you are right. Bai Ningbing praised. That be *tch. Fang Yuan cursed but also had new doubts, but didn't you guys only meet once? Wait, there was also the second time. Fang Yuan suddenly recalled something while talking. At Shang Clan City, Bai Ningbing and Dr. Su Shou had met for a second time. That time was when Bai Ningbing lost to Yan Tu by just a little and suffered heavy injuries while also losing her vital Jiyu. She went to Dr. Su Shou's place to receive treatment and to recuperate. Don't tell me. Fang Yuan seemed to have thought of something and his gaze immediately turned to Bai Ningbing as if it was the first time he was seeing this cold and handsome young man. Bai Ningbing smiled, his blue eyes shining eerily. It seems you have guessed it. That's right, I intentionally lost to Yan Tu. Losing a vital GU is nothing, exchanging it for a chance to evade your suspicions, isn't it a profitable transaction? At that time, I decided to gamble. Bai Ningbing went to Dr. Su Shou's place and relying just on his intuition, he decided to take a risk. He told the truth honestly to Dr. Su Shou. Dr. Su Shou sympathized with his experience and did her best to free him from Fang Yuan's demonic claws. Bai Ningbing asked her if there was a way to dispel poison vow. Dr. Su Shou replied that she could not dispel poison vow, but there was a way which could get rid of poison vow's binding. She recalled from her memories. Once, when she was young and ignorant, she was deceived by her sect's junior brother into using poison vow Gu to make an oath saying they would never abandon each other. Later, she used this method to get rid of the poison vow. Bai Ningbing asked, "What is it?" Dr. Su Shou's gaze turned grave and said, "To live, one must die." Once the poison vow activated, it would cause the death of the vow maker. Dr. Su Shou was a healing Gu master and her solution was to intentionally let the poison vow activate and cause the Gu master's death. The poison would be removed and then revive the Gu master. This method is a forceful removal. The absolute majority of healing Gu masters cannot do it even if they thought of it. I am able to barely accomplish it because of the unique legacy from my teacher. But even so, this has a 1 in 3 chance of failure. If it fails, it will mean death. Think it through. Dr. Su Shou gave a final warning. Bai Ningbing decided on the spot to use this method. With Dr. Su Shou's help, he got rid of the poison vow fortunately. Without the poison vow's binding, Bai Ningbing got in touch with Tai Clan and Tai Ruo Nan was able to learn the truth. The truth that person in front of her was Fang Yuan and not Fang Zheng. At the same time, she also understood the event that occurred on Qingmao Mountain. To deal with Fang Yuan, Bai Ningbing and Tai Ruo Nan launched a secret cooperation. We had used Iron Cabinet Gu and Qi Flow Gu around an area and planned to create the scene of the self-destruction. Unfortunately, you refused to rescue her. I could only gather a group and hurry to Sancha Mountain to make new plans. Tai Ruo Nan spoke. The scene of Bai Ningbing being trapped for so many days by Tai Clan's 4 old-timers looked like Tai Clan's reprisal because of Bai Ningbing killing a Tai Clan's Gu master in the inheritance, but in truth, it was all a scheme to deal with Fang Yuan. However, Fang Yuan fought 1 against 7 and slaughtered Tai Ruo Nan's group which caused Tai Mu Bai to take the stage. Tai Ruo Nan received Tai Mu Bai's teachings, cultivating and patiently waiting for news from Bai Ningbing. This was also the reason why she did not take the initiative to look for Fang Yuan although she had extreme hatred towards him. However, Fang Yuan made an impressive move that shook everybody. He took control of the whole situation after entering Three Kings' inheritance. Tai Mu Bai's death caused Bai Ningbing to keep silent and conceal himself even deeper. Using Fang Yuan's trust, he controlled the dog beasts. With the death of the land spirit, he was unable to suppress the situation anymore and the pressure on him increased. However, at the same time, he felt his whole body relaxed as he was free from the land spirit's surveillance. He was still not at ease though, thus he intentionally gave way for Yan Jun to probe Fang Yuan. Sure enough, like he expected, Feng Tianyu was sent out. This proved the land spirit had truly died. Bai Ningbing was inwardly happy and again maneuvered the situation to make a way in for Tai Ruo Nan and Tai Clan's 4 old-timers. The reason Tai Ruo Nan came to the main hall by herself was also because of this. Fang Yuan, I advise you to obediently surrender. Outside, my Tai Clan's enslavement path Grand Master Tai Bai Chi is controlling the dog beasts and obstructing the group of experts. Outside the main hall, there are Tai Clan's 4 old-timers who are using Iron Cabinet Gu and Qi Flow Gu to confine the space so that no one can infiltrate here. Surrendering is your only way out. Tai Ruo Nan walked over and held the second aperture Gu in her hand while pronouncing Fang Yuan's fate. Fang Yuan was silent. Chapter 397 The battle has just begun. Chapter 397 The battle has just begun. There are truly uncountable geniuses in this world. After being solemn for a while, Fang Yuan raised his head and sighed. Bai Ningbing, what a Bai Ningbing, he, I underestimated you, and fell victim to your schemes. It was a beautiful victory, your plan was flawless, while I was careless and overconfident, only thinking about the immortal Gu, allowing you to succeed, it was my mistake. I'm flattered. The reason I could plot against you was due to the perfect time, place and opportunity. If I were the one who had to refine an immortal Gu while scheming against both the righteous and demonic factions, I would definitely have done worse than you. Bai Ningbing answered seriously, but now at this point, winner takes all and the loser loses everything, I hope you would stop your pointless struggle. He. Fang Yuan sneered. The reason you have not killed me yet is because of the immortal Gu, you want to know its effects and also the immortal Gu recipe in my head. Now that the land spirit was dead, the blessed land was on the brink of destruction, there were loopholes everywhere, and without the heavenly power to suppress them, GU masters could use their GU freely. That is to say, Feng Yuan just had to think about it, and all his GU would self-detonate. Bai Ningbing and Tai Ruo Nan had no way to stop him. Tai Ruo Nan, Tai Mu Bai and the others died in my hands. You have to take this immortal GU back to redeem yourself, otherwise you will lose your young master position. Feng Yuan laughed sinisterly. Tai Ruo Nan was expressionless, answering frankly, "That's right, immortal GU are unique, they are extremely important. When I bring it back it will be an unprecedented merit. I would receive the Tai clan GU immortals' nurturing and reward. As for the recipe to refine immortal GU, right now only you know about it. If I can contribute it to the clan, I would immediately become Tai clan young clan leader. When I ascend to the position of clan leader, I will be like Lord Tai Mu Bai, upholding justice and order. After all these things, I have learned, to uphold justice, one needs to have great strength as well as a strong force. Only in this way can I repay Lord Tai Mu Bai's teachings, and allow him to feel at peace in the afterlife." Saying so, Tai Ruo Nan thought about the Tai clansman who died in Feng Yuan's hands, her eyes turning red as she felt intense fury and hatred, and also the great satisfaction of getting her revenge. She breathed in deeply, staring sharply at Feng Yuan. "As for you, Gu Feng Yuan, I will not kill you. You were able to refine an immortal GU using a mortal body, such refinement talent is truly spectacular. As long as you surrender, I will send you into the Tai clan demon suppression tower to undergo reform. In the future, when you turn over a new leaf, and leave the tower, you will work for Tai clan, and contribute to the righteous path, repaying for your sins. This is the best outcome." Demon suppression tower, Feng Yuan squinted. "You make it sound really nice. He, you want the immortal GU? Sure. Let's make a transaction." Feng Yuan talked about the details of the transaction as he focused on the movements outside the hall. He was stalling for time. In this situation, it may seem like a dead end, but he still had one final resort. Because of refining GU, Feng Yuan's mind is tired and he had little primeval essence left. His rank 4 all-out effort GU was not refined yet, and many beast phantoms were used up in the GU refinement process. He could not force it now. Feng Yuan was not in the best condition, while Bai Ningbing and Tai Ruo Nan came prepared. Furthermore, there are the 4 Tai clan old-timers outside as well as Tai Bai Chi who manipulates dog groups. Spring-autumn cicada was indeed the best chance he had, but it carried an enormous risk, and carried the danger of dying. Unless he had no other options, Feng Yuan did not want to use it yet. My true opportunity lies in the experts waiting outside the hall. With just the dog group and Tai clan's 4 old-timers, they cannot block them all forever. As long as they fight their way in here, the situation would be completely overturned. Fate worked in mysterious ways. Not long ago, Feng Yuan was using all his methods to block the experts outside, but now he could not wish more for them to fight their way into the hall. This accursed Tai clan, the mastermind is them all along. Tai clan's old clan leader Tai Mu Bai came personally. What attracted him? We should have guessed. Tai clan is a super clan, but don't think of devouring this alone, the immortal treasure belongs to all of us. In the intense battlefield, everyone was excited. Looking at the bronze hall, many GU masters' eyes were burning with passion. The purple-colored light barrier covered the entire bronze hall. Tai clan's 4 old-timers were at all 4 directions, guarding it securely. As for Tai Bai Chi, he was standing at the door of the hall, looking down at all the GU masters as he manipulated the dog group. He was an old man, his head was full of white hair, and he had a third eye on his forehead, shining brightly. He was a rank 5 enslavement path GU master, a Tai clan elder, and was once Tai Mu Bai's capable general. Under Tai Mu Bai's orders, he came out of cultivation, coming to the faraway Sancha mountain. Right now, Tai Bai Chi was smiling as he looked at the battlefield. The dog group was under his command, unleashing several times the fighting strength they had compared to before. Tai Bai Chi did not mind the losses, blocking all the experts outside. This old fool is really irritating. Mo Wutian's hair was flying in the air as he breathed roughly. Before him, Dog Emperor Ba Huang was bathed in blood, in a condition worse than Mo Wutian. But soon, the healing GU on it worked, and under the milky white-colored light, it began to heal rapidly. Mo Wutian tried to attack while there was a chance, but a group of green Hua dogs charged in. This again, Mo Wutian gritted his teeth, forced to kill this group of reinforcements. While it had the chance, Ba Huang managed to heal most of its injuries and became revitalized again. Compared to the time Bai Ningbing sent out the Dog Emperor and did not have the energy to control it, Tai Baichi had a much easier time. He manipulated the entire battlefield, and controlled the situation, showing the strength of the enslavement path fully. On the other hand, Xiaomeng was also receiving great attention from Tai Baichi. This won't do, the immortal treasure is going to be taken by Tai clan. Xiaomeng was anxious and hateful, but Dog Emperor Yingming was blocking his path, not allowing him to pass through. Bastard, you forced me. Xiaomeng growled, flying into the sky. The sky already had one huge hole, tens of kilometers in diameter, as the outside showed the sky of the main world, full of clouds and was a bright sunny day. Xiaomeng flew out of the hole, raising his hands. Rank 4, Gather Light GU. Large amounts of sunlight gathered on his palms, the light turned into a ball, flawless and huge. Xiaomeng was like an ant carrying a huge rice bowl. Rank 5, Extreme Light GU. The glorious light of the immemorial era gathered into the ball, and caused a qualitative change, as the entire ball was infected with the glory of the immemorial times. Rank 5, River Under the Sun GU. The light ball exploded, turning into an overwhelming water of light. Each drop was like a fragment of the sun, extremely bright and dazzling. Killer move, Torrential Light Stream. 1. The river of light rolled and crashed as it poured down on the blessed land from the hole. The light was blinding, and the waves were fierce. It turned the entire battlefield white, and everyone closed their eyes, unable to resist such a strong light. Oh no, Tai Baichi tried to stop it, but the light river's formation was already complete. He could only reduce its impact by a little. The grand light river was like a waterfall, crashing on the purple barrier. The barrier only lasted for a moment before shattering, as the 4 old-timers who sustained the barrier spurted out mouthfuls of blood, gravely injured. The light river broke the barrier and was weakened, but it continued on its way into the bronze hall. The hall was immediately broken through, and the waterfall swept towards Fang, Bai, and Tai. Bai Ningbing and Tai Ruonan's pupils shrunk as they subconsciously tried to dodge. Fang Yuan, who was waiting for an opportunity, immediately reacted and activated his primeval essence. Warp GU. He activated this rank 5 movement GU. This GU was something he got from killing Choju the killer ghost doctor. With a swoosh, Fang Yuan vanished on the spot. The light river crashed on the floor, creating a huge hole that was about 2 meters deep. Tai and Bai dodged in time, standing at the edge of the huge hole, extremely calm. He escaped indeed, he. It seems he used Warp GU. I think this GU came from Killer Ghost Doctor. Tai Ruonan analyzed. We're letting him escape. Bai Ningbing looked at Tai Ruonan. You forgot about Fixed Star GU. Don't worry, even if he escapes to the end of the world, Tai Clan's 4 old-timers would be able to arrest him. Let me roam around for now and expend his primeval essence and energy. It saves us some trouble. Tai Ruonan smiled lightly, her tone showing a confident attitude towards grasping the situation. After so many trials and difficulties, she had grown up a lot. Goo! Intense pain assaulted him as Fang Yuan vomited a mouthful of blood, feeling extremely dizzy. A sense of disgust almost caused him to fall face flat on the ground, feeling like his intestines were all jumbled up. Warp GU was a space path GU, tearing through space and transporting the GU master's body. The strong effect carried an equally intense backlash. GU masters who constantly use Warp GU would have their tendons entangled, their blood would flow backwards, and their joints would be dislocated. On the outside, the GU master would get uglier and uglier. No matter how nice he looked originally, he would turn hideous. To use the Warp GU, one had to use other GU worms to modify his own body. But to Fang Yuan, he no longer cared. Second aperture GU will be kept safe by you guys for now. I will return this hatred a million-fold in the future. Fang Yuan quickly assessed his surroundings, realizing that although he was out of the hall, he was still a distance from the bronze hall. Large numbers of dogs came attacking, and he quickly chose to retreat. Although second aperture GU was in Tai Ruonan's hands, the control was still in Fang Yuan's hands. He refined the second aperture GU single-handedly. Now with just a thought, this GU would self-detonate. Of course, unless left without a choice, Fang Yuan would not do something so stupid. This battle has just begun. Bai Ningbing, Tai Ruonan, just you wait. He. Fang Yuan laughed sinisterly. To use second aperture GU, immortal essence was needed, otherwise, an insane amount of primeval stones were needed to replace it. To Fang Yuan, he could not keep this GU into his aperture. Spring-autumn cicada's pressure was high enough. If he placed another immortal GU in, Fang Yuan's aperture would explode. If an immortal GU was outside the aperture, its aura would leak, and everyone would notice. If Fang Yuan took the immortal GU and ran, he would become everyone's target, immediately being chased down by 2 rank 5, more than 10 rank 4, and countless rank 3 and 2 GU masters. Tai Ruonan has the immortal GU, she is definitely everyone's attack target. Hehe, I'll let you guys compete while I watch on the sidelines, becoming the final winner in the end. Fang Yuan was resolved to retreat and recover his battle strength, before finding an opportunity to strike. But heaven did not side with him, as quickly, many GU masters found out his movements and screamed. Who is it, little beast king? It seems he came out of the bronze hall. Quick, 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 block him. He must have gotten a portion of the treasure. The voices attracted people's attention, as Fang Yuan's surrounding GU masters quickly turned around and attacked him. But the first who attacked were a small group of heavy Tai dogs. Not only was Fang Yuan obstructed by righteous and demonic GU masters, he was also specially taken care of by Tai Bai Chi. Chapter 398. So close to success, yet it was all for naught. Chapter 398. So close to success, yet it was all for naught. God damn it, Fang Yuan cursed, waving his hand and summoning a golden dragon. Golden Dragon roared as it turned these heavy Tai dogs into meat paste, paving a way for him to move. Little Beast King, where do you think you're going? Hand over the immortal treasure. Yi Chong rushed towards Fang Yuan, as the waves came crashing. Bone Wings GU. Fang Yuan flapped his wings, avoiding the huge waves and flying into the sky. Little Beast King, just stay here. Yi Huo waved his hand and fire birds flew out towards Fang Yuan. Golden Aurora GU. Fang Yuan's body was covered in a golden light as his speed increased, retreating quickly and leaving the firebirds behind. Oh, this huge change attracted Mo Wutian and Xiaomang's attention. Xiaomang shot out a giant hand of light, like a huge elephant, flying swiftly towards Fang Yuan trying to capture him. Fang Yuan turned at a sharp angle, narrowly avoid it. But at this moment, there was a gentle sound near his ears. This sound was like a lover's whisper beside one's ear, or like the voice of one's loved ones, causing an unknowing person to feel deeply emotional and unable to focus. Mo Wutian's gentle feelings GU. Fang Yuan quickly broke free of it after his shock, but his movement was slowed because of this, causing the giant light hand to catch up. Oh no, it was too late to dodge. Fang Yuan could only use his GU worms to fight back, using offense as defense. Bam! The sound of a loud explosion, and the light hand was dispersed, while Fang Yuan flew in the air like a kite with its strings cut, landing towards the ground. The sound of the wind near his ears woke the unconscious Fang Yuan. Sensing that he was falling, he quickly activated his GU worm while shouting, Tai Ruonan obtained a peerless immortal GU, she is refining it now. Mo Wutian and Xiaomang's attention were instantly diverted. Immortal GU. Everyone went into a commotion as their enthusiasm surged, causing Tai Bai Chi's pressure to intensify. Fang Yuan caught his breath and quickly used Wu Gui's movement GU. Large numbers of dark clouds appeared as he hid within, making his escape. But at this moment, swish 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 swish, in the air, 4 chains extended out of nowhere, swift as lightning and flexible like snakes, tying Fang Yuan's 4 limbs. Next, the chains tightened and coiled, spreading until Fang Yuan was tied up tightly, dragged into the void. The next moment, Fang Yuan reappeared in the bronze hall. Tai Clan's 4 old-timers were at the north, south, east, and west respectively, standing around him. They were half kneeling on the ground, their right palms facing forward while their left hand gripped their right hand, activating their GU worms together. On each of their right palms, a black steel chain was extending out. Tai Clan's 4 old-timers killer move, Infinite Search and Lock. At this moment, in Central Continent, TNT Mountain. In Hu Immortal Blessed Land, on top of Hundang Mountain, a competition that decided the Blessed Land's owner was at its final moments. Fang Zheng, hang in there, victory is within reach. Lord Sky Crane's voice came from within Fang Zheng. Compared to the start, he sounded extremely tired and weak. Yes, just one opponent left. Fang Zheng gritted his teeth, his body full of sweat as it swayed, hanging on with just his determination. The great Shao Qi Xing, was surpassed by a nobody. Shao Qi Xing's eyes were staring wide as he looked at Fang Zheng climb, at a height beyond him. Sigh, to think that it would end up like this. Ying Shengji sighed, letting go and falling down the mountain. He was furthest from the peak, seeing Fang Zheng's performance, he knew he had no chance of winning, thus giving up immediately. Hu Immortal Land Spirit would not let him die of course, with a snap of her finger, Ying Shengji was transported out of the Blessed Land. Climb, continue to climb. The skin on Fang Zheng's arms and legs were torn, as blood flowed down. The closer he was to the peak, the greater the vibration shocks on the soul. Fang Zheng was almost unable to think of anything, there was only the mountain peak left in his mind. As his entire potential was squeezed out, he was extremely tired, and this had greatly exceeded the limits of his body. This lad, Feng Jinhuang, was moved. Fang Zheng was obviously exhausted beyond belief, yet he seemed to have some sort of limitless energy sustaining him. Mountain peak, Fang Zheng gritted his teeth, with only one thought in his mind. He climbed step by step, surpassing Feng Jinhuang and taking the lead. At this moment, he was only less than a meter from the mountain peak. Even the cute and tiny land spirit was standing at the edge of the cliff, looking down and watching the birth of her new owner. Outside the blessed land, some GU masters who were watching started to sigh. Congrats to you, He Feng Yang, this time your immortal crane sect performed the best. HMPH, if my rank 6 exquisite warp GU was still around. Or maybe Star Shuttle GU, fixed immortal travel GU, or one's own movement GU, the results would be different. The GU immortals had differing attitudes, some were congratulating while others were sighing in pity. We were lucky, just lucky. He Feng Yang was modest, but his tone could not conceal his joy. But at this moment, a GU immortal sneered, He Feng Yang, you are going to be disappointed. This Hu immortal inheritance belongs to us Spirit Affinity House. As the immortal spoke, a change occurred in the blessed land. Feng Jinhuang shouted, and a beautiful pair of wings grew from her shoulders. This pair of wings was extremely elegant and beautiful, all sorts of lights shone on it, it was dazzling and alluring. With just one flap, Feng Jinhuang ascended easily. What? This is the legendary immortal GU, Dream Wings. Dream Wings was a special immortal GU, it did not exist in the real world, but only appeared in dreams. Activating it did not require immortal essence, but the GU master's spirit and soul instead. Feng Jinhuang was only immortal, activating the dream wings forcefully would cause severe damage to her soul, amnesia at best, becoming mentally retarded at worst. But the proud her had never suffered defeat since her birth. She could not allow Fang Zheng to be the sole winner right before her eyes. Even if I have to pay the heaviest price, I have to attain victory. Under Fang Zheng's shocked expression, Feng Jinhuang flew up quickly, easily surpassing him and claiming the lead once again. The dream wings were folded back as Feng Jinhuang stood at the side of the cliff, breathing heavily. She felt a strong dizziness from the depths of her soul, almost causing her to faint. She reached her limits, forcefully activating an immortal GU. It was not easy for Feng Jinhuang to reach this step. I actually lost. Fang Zheng stared with wide-opened eyes, dejected and upset. At this moment, Feng Jinhuang was so close to the peak, in fact, her arms were already at the edge of the peak, she was one step away. I am about to win. At this moment, Feng Jinhuang forced herself to raise her head, using the last bit of strength she had. Her eyes were glowing like amber, her beautiful appearance and her snow-white long neck was shining like jade in the blessed land's pink light. She was like a young phoenix, expanding its wings for the first time. Brilliant and glorious. At once, even GU immortals were dazed. She bit her lips, placing her arms at the edge of the cliff. Next, she used her remaining strength to drag her body up as well. At the end, she rolled onto the mountain peak. She succeeded. The sole winner of this competition, the new owner of the Hu Immortal Blessed Land. Southern border, Sancha Mountain, Bronze Hall. Fang Yuan was tied up by the chains. He, Fang Yuan, we meet again. Tai Ruo Nan stood before Fang Yuan, laughed heartily. Bai Ningbing sighed. It is no use, Fang Yuan, I secretly planted the fixed star GU in your left arm. With this GU to locate you, the infinite search and lock can catch you no matter where you go, even if you escape to the edge of the world, we can still bring you back. You have lost, admit it. What? Fang Yuan lowered his head, seeing that there was a GU on his left arm. This GU was a star fragment of the immemorial era, it was 8-sided and crystal clear, giving off starlight at times, causing Fang Yuan's forearm to shine with a transparent eerie blue light. Bai Ningbing, Fang Yuan howled, struggling frantically, causing the chains to make a loud clank sound. In his past life, Tai Clan's 4 old-timers used this killer move to capture Kong Ritian, to think that in this life, the same move would be used on him. Before, when Bai Ningbing was trapped by the 4 old-timers, Fang Yuan did not help her immediately, he was wary of this infinite search and lock. Once he was locked on by this GU, no matter where Fang Yuan escaped, the chains would extend from the void to capture him. But without the fixed star GU, infinite search and lock would be like a headless chicken, not a threat at all. This fixed star GU was given to me by the 4 old-timers personally, and I even spent a long time training to use it. Do you know when I planted it? It was when you injected yellow gold primeval essence to nurture my aperture. You had absolutely no idea, huh? Bai Ningbing's eyes were shining with cold mockery. This move was truly nailing the problem at its roots, crushing Fang Yuan's hopes of a reversal. Fixed star GU good, Bai Ningbing, you are too good. Fang Yuan stared at Bai Ningbing, gritting his teeth. Tai Ruonan continued to urge. Fang Yuan, you have been locked on by infinite search and lock, your GU worms have already been sealed and you cannot even use your primeval essence. You have no hope left. Of course you can still will your GU worms to self-detonate, but I would advise you not to do that. You are a smart person, you should know which option benefits you the most, right? Fang Yuan lowered his head, silent. Earlier, he had activated his GU worms furiously, but infinite search and lock was famous for a reason. It was both a space path and seal path killer move. Even the rank 5 warp GU was sealed, unable to be used. It has ended, Fang Yuan. Demon Suppression Tower is your final resting place. You will spend the rest of your life there. Bai Ningbing sighed, seeing his mortal enemy captured, he felt extremely complicated, feeling both joy and sorrow. Throughout these years, thank you for the excitement you have brought to my life. Because of your existence, it lightened up this lonely life of mine, and I became less lonely and bored. Next, I will have an even more exciting life, and you should be honored that you have been a part of it. Saying so, Bai Ningbing paid respects to Fang Yuan in an earnest and sincere expression. Chapter 399 Spring-Autumn Cicada. Chapter 399, Spring-Autumn Cicada. Fang Yuan raised his head, looking at the sky beyond the bronze hall. There was a huge hole in the blessed land's sky, connecting to the outside world. From Fang Yuan's angle, he could see the sun of southern border. The sun was setting, it was near dusk. 5:45 p.m., at this time, Feng Jinhuang should have just inherited Immortal blessed land. Fang Yuan thought. In his previous life, he worked with demonic GU Immortals, attacking Immortal blessed land and taking over Danghun Mountain. In the end he paid a huge price, killing Feng Jinhuang and narrowly surviving. After Feng Jinhuang died, the Righteous Path grieved, writing the biography of Feng Jinhuang. The biography listed all the things she achieved in life, and Feng Jinhuang had 3 great opportunities in life. Her first encounter was when she was 3 years old. When she was sleeping, she obtained the Immortal GU dream wings in her dreams. The second opportunity was Immortal blessed land. On this day, at 5:30 p.m., she successfully ascended the mountain. Feng Jinhuang has the Immortal GU dream wings, the Immortal inheritance is definitely hers to take. To not give her such a huge lead, I need the second aperture GU. Unfortunately, my efforts were in vain. He sighed in his heart, but his dazed expression suddenly became resolute again. He had a chance to reverse the situation, he had not lost yet. That is because, he had Spring-Autumn Cicada. Infinite Search and Lock could seal rank 5 GU, but it could not restrict rank 6 Immortal GU. Fang Yuan raised his head, taking a final look at Bai Ningbing and the others. There was nothing to say, this time, there was hope if he succeeded, and nothing to say if he failed. How can he be so calm? Bai Ningbing, Tai Ruonan and the others felt something amiss. Bam! Fang Yuan self-detonated. At that moment, Spring-Autumn Cicada burst out in 2 lights, green and orange, as a mystical and profound aura spread out. All of Fang Yuan's GU worms, all his primeval essence, all his flesh and soul, all detonated. Every use of the Spring-Autumn Cicada was a great gamble. Fang Yuan was at a dead end, he bet on everything he had. After self-detonating, all the energy was injected into the Spring-Autumn Cicada. Spring-Autumn Cicada turned into a brilliant dot, carrying Fang Yuan's remaining will and tore through space, entering the most famous forbidden ground in this world, the River of Time. The GU world had southern border, northern plains, western desert, eastern seas, and central continent. There was also one river of time, connecting past, present, and future, that was time itself. Space and time were the basis that constructed the world. Swish swish swish, the river water in the river of time ebbed and flowed, crashing like waves. Every drop of the water of time was pale white, but over a gazillion droplets of water crashed, intertwined, collided, and spun each time, giving off a brilliant light show. In this desolate and plentiful river water, Spring-Autumn Cicada was like a roaming traveler returning home, its wings flapped as it carried Fang Yuan's consciousness and moved against the flow. To Fang Yuan, this was the third time he used Spring-Autumn Cicada. The first time, he entered the river of time without any experience. The second time, he was forced to self-detonate, there was too little time. This time, he was mentally prepared, and finally experienced the feeling of going against the tides. This feeling was so mystical and incredible. Countless light shadows, like a movie playing in reverse, appeared in his consciousness. It felt like a second passed, but it also felt like years had passed. The dangerous waves came crashing each time. Spring-Autumn Cicada quickly lost its stamina, and the energy from self-detonating was expended. It struggled and jumped into one of the droplets, vanishing. Fang Yuan blinked, and the image before him had changed. Hold on, all can be negotiated. I can promise to tell you the true path, but you must ensure my safety. I have a poison vow Gu. Fang Yuan heard a familiar voice begging for his life. He looked down and saw Wang Xiao. He was stunned, as his heart pounded, his expression changed as he revealed an unconcealed joy. Ha ha ha, I succeeded again, I won the bet, I managed to rebirth. Fang Yuan spread his arms, laughing loudly. Wang Xiao, Fang Yuan's sudden performance caused him to feel shocked and suspicious. What rebirth? What succeeded? Is this guy mentally unsound? But honestly, there are lots of crazy demonic path GU masters. Damn it, I encountered such a maniac. Being stepped on by Fang Yuan, Wang Xiao who was lying on the ground thought about this and begged even louder. Ha ha ha, Fang Yuan's laughter continued. This feeling of escaping from a hopeless scenario and restarting once again was simply too good. He felt great. He first inspected his aperture. In the aperture, his vital GU Spring-Autumn Cicada was extremely weak once again, its lustrous body had turned into wilting autumn leaves. Fang Yuan willed, and Spring-Autumn Cicada hid its body, entering a deep sleep, regaining its strength through the river of time. This way, the threat Spring-Autumn Cicada has been alleviated. Fang Yuan laughed even louder, his eyes shining brightly. He looked around again. This was evidently still the blessed land. He was stepping on Wang Xiao, and there was a corpse beside him. It was Yun Clan's young clan leader Yun Luo Tian. He was killed by Bai Ningbing, and his corpse was sent over by expending immortal essence. Thinking of Bai Ningbing, Fang Yuan's laughter stopped, unable to laugh anymore. It was this guy, planning for so long and finally betrayed him, causing Fang Yuan to fail even though he succeeded in refining second aperture GU, falling into deep despair. If not for Spring-Autumn Cicada and his good luck, Fang Yuan would have completely lost. Regardless of death or captivity in Demon Suppression Tower, he would have no opportunities left in life. Demonic path was like this, it was like walking on tightrope, one step was all it takes for destruction. Falling into the abyss, with no hopes of ever getting back up. I was simply too careless, thinking about Feng Jinhuang and wanting to refine an immortal GU, I ignored the true demon that was hiding near me. But this Bai Ningbing's acting was also convincing, planning for so many years, working so hard to numb my senses, and then giving me the final blow. Hey, I am still immortal, I am not an invincible god. Thinking of this, Fang Yuan's mouth was bitter. Fang Yuan was improving and growing ferociously, Bai Ningbing was the same. This was the harshness of reality, and also the beauty of fate. In this world, everyone was a main character, but everyone was also a side character. Everyone has their own advantages. Bai Ningbing has the northern dark ice soul physique, Tai Ruo Nan has her Tai clan background, Feng Jinhuang gained an immortal GU in her dreams when she was 3 years old. As for me, I struggled for hundreds of years, cultivating bitterly until I refined the Spring-Autumn Cicada. Fang Yuan thought about this, and his emotions surged again. He smiled brilliantly and recited. Viewing thousands of mountains in deep crimson. Layers of trees dyed red. On the limpid blue water. Hundreds of barges race against currents. Hawks spread their wings in the vast sky. Fish swim freely under deep water. All living things vie for freedom under the autumn sky. Pondering over the immensity of the universe, I ask this boundless and misty earth. Who rules the fate of this world? If heavens had emotions it would grow old, the great Tao is emotionless and impartial. Every living being has the chance to rise up, it depends on how one uses their opportunities and how one fights. In this world, no one is born to be a side character. And there is no one who is an eternal main character. Living beings compete, the weak are eliminated. Precisely because of the heroes competing in this world, facing off with their respective strengths and trump cards, can history be so immense and interesting, making the world such a mystical place. Thinking so, the bitterness, hatred, shock, grief and joy vanished in Fang Yuan like a trace of smoke. His heart was clear, his demonic resolution shone deeply in his eyes. He started to think calmly. So I rebirth at this time. According to my previous life's development, I grilled Wang Xiao regarding the path towards Wu Mountain, but he did not tell me even after dying. I had no choice and had to kill him, using the beast strength placenta Gu to devour his and Yun Luo Tian's apertures. Fang Yuan was solemn, his expression like ice, as he recalled in his mind what was about to happen. Next, I spent a lot of effort, exposing the spring-autumn cicada to convince the land spirit. Next, I killed killer ghost Dr. Cho Ju, Wu Shentong, and Zhang San San. I unexpectedly obtained a slavery GU from Zhang San San, and was about to continue killing people when an accident occurred. I had no choice but to interfere and kill Long Qing Tian, but because of the Jade Sky GU poison, I had no gains. Next, I refined GU, defended the hall, and got betrayed by Bai Ningbing. Fang Yuan's mind worked like lightning, almost instantly recalling the previous life as his eyes squinted into a line, subconsciously clenching his fists tightly. The situation is really perilous. With his rebirth, Fang Yuan looked at the situation clear as day, his previous life's carelessness became this life's alertness. Firstly, Bai Ningbing already knows about the details regarding the refinement of the Immortal GU. She had secretly cooperated with Tai Ruonan. Tai clan had to be prepared long ago, that Tai Baichi might have already hidden himself in Sancha Mountain, ready to strike at any moment. The enemy is hidden while I am exposed, this is not good. Next, during the last few days of refinement, Xiaomeng would arrive here. The unexpected Mo Wu Tian would also join in with his new rank 5 cultivation. In his previous life, Fang Yuan killed several demonic heads, causing the demonic faction to have no leader. Mo Wu Tian's arrival easily overturned that as he gathered the demonic path's strength using his rank 5 cultivation. It could be said that because of him, it hastened the outside experts' attack on the hall. The enemy is strong while I am weak, that is even worse. Lastly, the most severe point. Fang Yuan raised his left arm. In his previous life, he was kept in the dark, but now he knew, Bai Ningbing had secretly planted the fixed star GU on him, on this forearm. Once the Tai clan's 4 old-timers used the infinite search and lock, he would have no way to escape, captured even if he ran to the edge of the world. Now that I think about it, Tai clan did not move earlier because first, I killed Tai Mu Bai, and that situation greatly exceeded their expectations. Secondly, they want to reap the benefits from others' conflict, attaining the fruits of victory without loss. Thirdly, they are extremely vigilant. Although infinite search and lock can restrict rank 5 GU worms, it could be resisted in other ways. What if they arrested me but did not find the Yang GU? Thus because of this, they kept it as a final trump card. Fixed star GU was secretly planted, Fang Yuan was now like a fish in the net, he could not escape. It was almost a hopeless situation. Author's note. This book is the realization of my dream these 6 years. Thus it contained many things, and is different from other books. One point especially, that is Fang Yuan the main character, is able to fail. Demonic Path was never about winning every battle, demons lose too. If I do not write out the failure, I would not be able to represent the true nature of demonic. Any risk has a price to pay. If one day, in the event Fang Yuan's death would make the book more interesting, or even elevate it to another level, then I would write him to death. That is also the tragedy of the demonic path. Chapter 400 Life is but a few hundred years, it is all a grand gamble. Chapter 400 Life is but a few hundred years, it is all a grand gamble. Fixed star GU, this is like a rope tied around my neck. Although I have methods to get rid of it, I need a lot of time to prepare. If I want to immediately get rid of the fixed star GU, unless Bai Ningbing took it back personally, otherwise, I can also chop off my left forearm. Fang Yuan's heart was burning with this urge. Fixed star GU was hiding in Fang Yuan's forearm. Once he discarded his forearm, Tai clan's 4 old-timers would only be able to retrieve his broken limb. If he did that, Fang Yuan would lose a limb. He would have to treat it in the future, making a broken limb grow back, creating something from nothing. It would spend a lot of effort. Not mentioning how troublesome healing would be, the thing now is once he loses his left arm, it would be alerting his enemies. Tai clan and Bai Ningbing would immediately realize that Fang Yuan knew what was going on, and would immediately start their attacks. That way, the attackers of the main hall would also include Tai clan and Bai Ningbing. To Fang Yuan, such a situation was worse than the previous life. I cannot alert them prematurely. I was lucky to rebirth. Compared to last time, my only advantage is that I know what is going to happen. I have to go with the flow, since Tai clan and Bai Ningbing are still usable to me now. Once I lose my arm, not only would Tai clan be forced to go against me, the situation will also change, and derail from the tracks of my previous life. I would lose my rebirth advantage completely. But if he did not get rid of his arm, how would he get out of this situation, and counterattack under such dire circumstances? Fang Yuan pondered. All sorts of people, incidents, cause and effect flickered in his mind. Wang Xiao, Chou Ju, Wu Shentong, Zhang San, Long Qingtian, Xiao Meng, Tai Ruo Nan, Bai Ningbing, Mo Wu Tian, Yan Jun, Feng Tianyu. Slavery Gu, Jade Sky Gu Poison, Land Spirit, Bronze Hall, Immortal Essence, Fixed Star Gu, Second Aperture Gu, Undefeated 100 Battles Gu. Numerous choices give birth to unlimited possibilities. Infinite possibilities affect each other. Fang Yuan's mind worked rapidly, all sorts of inspiration and scenarios happened in his head like lighting a flint in the darkness. What should he do to protect himself, while maintaining the biggest benefits? He thought and thought, expending his mental energy. In just a little bit of time, his ears were buzzing. Wait, suddenly, Fang Yuan's body shook. Maybe take a step backwards, and the sea and sky becomes wider. Should I consider this from a wider perspective? An absurd thought appeared in this head. No way, if I do this, the risks are greater. He shook his head, muttering as he denied this idea. But this thought was rooted in his head, it continued to influence him. If I do this and manage to succeed, my gains will be overwhelming. Fang Yuan's eyes shone brilliantly. But the next moment, he shook his head again. If there is even an inch of calculation mistake in this plan, I will be completely finished. The consequences would be worse than falling into Tai Ruo Nan's hands. The spring-autumn cicada has already been used, I cannot use rebirth again for a while. As he thought, Fang Yuan's gaze became solemn and deep. Suddenly, he laughed lightly. To think that I, a great demonic leader in my time, am being so careful and worried now, afraid to execute my plans. As long as there is hope, I should be brave enough to do it. Only an overwhelming benefit can cause me to go forward relentlessly. Fortune and risks come together, why should I go slow and steady to build my foundation? I want to ascend to heaven in one step. That's right, this is the plan. Death without a proper burial if I fail, fly into the sky like a dragon if I succeed, and pave the way for my future plans. He, ha ha ha, life is but a few hundred years, it is all a grand gamble. Little Beast King, don't be rash, we can talk this out. You want the path into Wu Mountain, we can negotiate this, it can be discussed. Wang Xiao underneath his feet begged. Fang Yuan laughed at times, remained solemn at times, frowned at times, and went back to laughing happily at times. He scared this rank 5 GU master, the Lord of Wu Mountain, a great demonic expert to death. In Wang Xiao's heart, Fang Yuan was a maniac, a mentally ill person. Demonic path is extreme, without a clan's support, cultivation is difficult. At times they struggled at death's door, they face great mental pressure. It is not uncommon for demonic GU masters to develop mental illnesses. Especially when Fang Yuan talked to himself sometimes, or even made poems for himself, it intensified Wang Xiao's worries. Against a normal person, he had his ways to deal with them. But dealing with a madman, even a GU immortal has no confidence. Oh, you plan to tell me Wu Mountain's entrance? Fang Yuan frowned, looking at Wang Xiao. Of course, but you have to let me off. Wang Xiao saw a reaction from Fang Yuan and shouted anxiously. HMPH. Fang Yuan's gaze became sharp. Pressing with his feet and with a crack, Wang Xiao's head was smashed to bits. Wang Xiao was a great expert, devious and cruel, cold and emotionless. To get him to say the correct entrance into Wu Mountain, Zhang San's rank 5 slavery GU was needed. But in Fang Yuan's new plan, Wang Xiao had been discarded, there is no need to waste time talking to him, thus he was directly killed. A pity for Wang Xiao, the Lord of Wu Mountain, yet he died so pathetically in Fang Yuan's hands. After killing Wang Xiao, Fang Yuan took his GU and used Beast Strength Placenta GU, devouring his and Yun Luo Tian's apertures. This way, Beast Strength Placenta Gu's aptitude is 83%. In terms of Immortal Essence, we spent a little bit more than expected, slightly exceeding 2 portions. Bagwei, you want me to stop? Fang Yuan suddenly said. Land Spirit. How did you know my thought? Of course I know. Fang Yuan snorted, leaking the spring-autumn cicada's aura. Bagwei, have a feel, what do you think this is? The land spirit was speechless. This is the aura of a rank 6 immortal GU. It seems to be the spring-autumn cicada. Spring-autumn cicada is the 7th mysterious GU in this world. You are a mere mortal, how can you possess such an immortal Gu? In his past life, Fang Yuan spent a lot of time talking to Ba Gui, eventually failing to convince it, thus gambling and revealing his greatest trump card, convincing the land spirit. This time, Fang Yuan revealed Spring-Autumn Cicada's aura from the start and went straight to the point. Ba Gui, I will not lie to you, I am a future Gu immortal, using the Spring-Autumn Cicada to rebirth myself into the past. What? Land spirit was shocked beyond words, the information was too great, it could not accept it so readily. Fang Yuan's expression was arrogant. I came back from the future, I know everything. Ba Gui, I am your next master, I succeeded in refining the second aperture Gu in my previous life. Fang Yuan spoke. In his last life, he convinced the land spirit, but now, he had the knowledge of the future, as well as the experience of refining second aperture Gu as evidence. The land spirit was quickly convinced. Young man, you really are my future master. Listening to your words, it seems you really succeeded in refining second aperture Gu. Regardless of whether you are lying to me, I am exhilarated. Because this means the success of second aperture Gu has been raised by 30%. Land spirit said happily. Enough trash talk, Ba Gui, I came from the future, I know the dangers that are lurking. First, I need to kill a person. A moment later, Long Qingtian died by Fang Yuan's hands. In his last life, this Long Qingtian went into a weakened land and used the Jade Sky Gu, poisoning the blessed land and forming a loophole, causing great damage to the blessed land, and also causing Fang Yuan a lot of trouble. This time, Fang Yuan struck immediately after rebirth. Before Long Qingtian entered that weakened area, he used the heavenly power to restrict him and easily killed him. Young man, I am starting to believe you. You killed a dangerous threat prematurely. Sigh, the three kings modified the blessed land, my control over this land is not strong anymore. You could sense this danger and have the spring-autumn cicada, you really came from the future, land spirit exclaimed. Fang Yuan sighed, land spirit was old and dying, it was like a dying old man, it could not compare to a young land spirit. For example, it could not even detect the fixed star Gu on Fang Yuan's arm. Fang Yuan did not waste time with the land spirit, he worked quickly, taking Long Qingtian's Gu worms and devoured his aperture. In his previous life, because of the Jade Sky Gu poison, Fang Yuan could not take the battle loot after killing Long Qingtian. But this time, he acted early and Long Qingtian could not use his Gu, thus Fang Yuan had no restrictions. After looting Long Qingtian, Fang Yuan gained several useful things. Other than the aperture, his greatest loot was Jade Sky Gu. This Gu was like a dark green bamboo stem, palm-sized and hollow in the middle, it gave off a smooth texture when held in one's hands, like a piece of jade. Rank 5 Jade Sky Gu originated from the immemorial era, it was extremely rare now. It had an extremely strong poison and there was barely any ways to deal with it, it could easily poison a person to death, causing them to fade into a green light. This Gu had great use, Fang Yuan kept it carefully. Ba Gui, quickly transfer me to this place. The next moment, Fang Yuan appeared in front of the demonic enslavement path master, Zhang San. Zhang San had not even reacted before Fang Yuan attacked, ending his life. Fang Yuan killed and plundered the aperture, it was the same thing again, causing the beast strength placenta Gu's aptitude to rise again. Zhang San was a rank 4 Gu master, but had a rank 5 slavery Gu. Fang Yuan's greatest motive for killing him was this Gu. With another flash, Fang Yuan appeared in front of killer ghost Dr. Choju. Little beast king, how did you? Choju saw Fang Yuan and was taken aback, his expression extremely shocked. Fang Yuan's expression was plain as he used the rank 5 slavery Gu. The slavery Gu exploded into a yellow light, landing on Choju. Choju shouted, FCK. Rank 5 slavery Gu. You can kill me but not humiliate me, you want to enslave me, you are dreaming. He did not know that in the previous life, he begged Fang Yuan to use slavery Gu. With the land spirit to suppress him, Choju could not use Gu worms, the slavery Gu was easily planted on him. But to control a rank 5 Gu master, it was not so easy, it was a contest of souls. Choju resisted with all his strength, Fang Yuan's soul trembled as he entered a stalemate. Choju sneered, his forehead full of sweat, little beast king, you are too naive. For an enslavement path Gu master, the soul's foundation is most important, the higher the better. It is not easy to control wild beasts, not to mention men. Man is the spirit of all beings, you want to control me who is a rank higher, it is wishful thinking, hee hee ah. Cho-ju screamed in pain, as his smug laughter was terminated by Fang Yuan's slap. With this interference, the contest of souls tilted towards Fang Yuan's advantage, as the yellow light merged into his body. As long as it is fully merged, Cho-ju would become Fang Yuan's most loyal slave.